Yeah, I even look at him. Look.
Like, hello?
I look at him. I'm just like, hey, can you hurry up and say it?
I'm over there.
Por favor.
Let me think for a second.
Yeah, I even look at him. Look.
Like, hello?
I look at him. I'm just like, hey, can you hurry up and say it?
I'm over there.
All right, everyone. How is it going? Wait, am I good sound? Is there? Yeah, there's sound, right? Do I sound all right? I can't tell if the sound is good. How's everyone doing today? Where's everybody from today? I saw some people that are from Alaska. Filma Gabe, look at that. Yeah, and someone else where it's 5 a.m. in the morning. So anyways, this is hey guys, come on, give me a break. This is before 8 o'clock. Here we go, we're about to start now. If you have no what is that? What's the thing called? Oh, forget it. I don't know. I don't even know. I lost my train of thought, I guess. Texas is in the house. San Diego's here. Oklahoma, Australia. East Texas, Chicago. There we go. How's everyone else doing? This is, of course, for those of you who are new here that might be watching for the first time, this is a Monday night live stream that I do. I basically just come in here and you guys guide the conversation. I just answer and read some of your questions. Mostly technical stuff about what kind of batteries we're going to use, what kind of, you know, inverters, whatever. Usually I'll just try to put a picture on the theme with something that I'm doing. I'm currently building a LiFePO4 battery, 12 volts, right? Because a lot of people are interested in doing 12 volt batteries, and it's kind of hard to tell people that not all lithium makes good 12 volt batteries, but only lithium iron phosphate, right? That's the best one, and it's usually not available. But for right now, Tom has a bunch of batteries, so you know they're kind of moving. A lot of people are buying them and they're building stuff, and so I wanted to make a little project that has like a self-contained battery using those high power battery cells that he's got. They could do like 150 amps, some crazy, right? So a little box like this could give you like, 500 amps, at 12 volts, right? So you can start cars, you can start anything with that. The only problem is finding the right BMS. I have one in there that's like 100 amps. And so that's what I'm building. I'm kind of designing that. I don't know if I want to put several BMS units in there to boost up, because I want something that's like, cool. But anyways, I just put that there sort of to have a theme for the live chat. We almost never end up talking about that. We almost always end up talking about whatever you guys are building and whatever just happens to be that you guys are interested. Look at that. Australia, Canada, Chile. Dario Igor Flores Fernandez is from Chile. That's about us. Well, no, there's people that can be farther away, but that's about farther south, right? Chile is like way down there in South America. Tennessee, Alaska. Wow, Dallas, Texas, South Africa, Houston. There we go. Phoenix with 15 Boston Power Sonatas on the test bench. Look at that. DA40X man. From Ultima Tool. How do you say that? I have a backpack that has Tool. Through. I think that's how you pronounce that, right? I don't know. Someone from Sweden told me that it was pronounced something like that. I don't know. I might be butchering that up. I'm sorry if I am, but yeah, it's interesting to see that. Is that a place? That's a place, I guess, huh? There we go. Turkey, look at that. Thailand. I was keenly waiting for how to build 12 volt DIY lithium battery storage. There you go, 12 volts. So I'm gonna have a video about that soon, because I gotta finish that thing. I'm working on so many projects at the same time. It's hard. Like, some of them move a little bit, some of them move a little bit less, or some of them a little bit more, but it's just hard to, basically have that. Look, we have a new member, LJ Prep. Thank you for joining the button here to join the channel, to become a member of the channel. Thank you, that's highly appreciated. Let there be no evil in your LiFePO4 batteries. How do we do that? Toys for Boys. How do we remove the evil from the LiFePO4 batteries? Well, yeah, I don't know. You mean like safe? If we keep them safe, that would be like, no evil, right? I'm working on fixing a guy's solar gate. What is that about? I'm using 8 cells of 18650 with Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. 8 cells in parallel, probably, right? How are you using 8 cells? Just like as a, these are like 4. Wait, these are 6 cells actually. These are very popular. Anchor. This is not a sponsored thing, but there are 6 cells in here, and I have another one that has 8 cells. Yeah, 18650s are great for powering, phones and stuff like that. Let's see, what do we got here? Tobax. He's from Mexico. What part of Mexico? Tobax. I live in Tierra del Fuego, the southernmost city in the world. There we go. You're like almost down there in the Antarctic, right? I mean, really? How crazy is that? What's the temperature there? Like, we're all suffering over here. The vortex, the Antarctic. No, what is it called? Something vortex, right? The winter vortex. Something vortex where it's colder than we're used to being up here in the northern hemisphere. How is the weather down there? It's all you guys' fault. It's all that's coming from down there. From Tierra del Fuego, I heard. That's exactly the place where it's coming. We have people from India. How much would I have to pay you to make a 30 kilowatt hour Powerwall for me? Well, that's an interesting one, because I would say that you couldn't pay me right enough because I'm super busy building stuff for myself, and so I wouldn't have time to build something for you. Like I could, like, if I were to take jobs from people, I mean, I'd be, I'd have enough work to like till I retire, right? But at this stage in life, I've decided that I want to spend my time doing certain things, and it's not building stuff for others or for a living. I don't want to build stuff for a living. I want to build stuff so that I can make videos and show you guys how to do it. Spread ideas and all that stuff, right? That's why I'm a YouTuber. That's why I'm here making a bunch of videos. Even though lately I've been kind of struggling to make a lot of videos, but that's my main. That's my main thing. All the projects that I'm doing is, well, I want to like use them as myself so I can learn and stuff. Because of course, for those of you who are new, again, I have no special training in any of this. I'm just a regular Joe, just like you guys. I'm learning as I go. I learn by trial and error, right? So no special training. And so I have to build a lot of stuff to be able to stay kind of on top of, what the technology is. And so that's why I don't know a lot about a lot of things, and I tend to, I try not to sound like I know what I'm talking about when I don't know what I'm talking about. So there's a lot of times where you're gonna ask me about solar panels or inverters and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. It's like I have very limited because I've only built a couple of systems here. I've only know what I've worked with and stuff, and I know basics, and I can understand concepts and stuff. But when it comes down to like having, on-hand experience and stuff, first-hand experience, then I don't, right? And I try to be upfront about that. So, yeah, so that's why I can't build projects. I mean, I get asked every day, right? So sorry about that. I promote DIY, do it yourself. You can follow me along. You can follow along with me and try to build some of these stuff. Even though I do such a terrible job at sharing the steps and, all the information. I try to do as best as I can, but I always fall short, I think. I bought 50 18650 cells from Alarm Hookup that were supposed to be 1200 to 1400 milliamp hours, but ended up being mostly 2900 milliamp hour batteries. Wow, that's cool. If that indeed is true. You got to make sure you check the capacity on the cells on the discharge curve, not on the charge curve, because then that's not going to be very accurate, right? So yeah, make sure you put them on your little, I have that wall over there with chargers and stuff and dischargers. You got to set them where it, measures the discharge, not the charge. I'm building a 1.5 kilowatt power wall using JU's battery PCVs. And a BMS boards. There you go. How's that project going? I still have mine stuck in here, and I need another box. Yeah, I just gotta have everything ready, and there's so many steps that I need to actually finish the, to I can start putting together the project, like the, one thing, building a thing is not that hard. You can just build a thing and you just do it, right? But building a thing where like you can explain to people how you do it, and then you record it, and then you give them instructions and steps, hopefully, that's a different thing. And so that's what I'm trying to do here this time around. I didn't do it the first time around, right? Like the few years ago, again, a little backstory, one of my top most viewed videos in this channel is where I showed you kind of like the idea of building a DIY Powerwall, buying batteries from dead laptop cells on eBay. And, once you like get all the bad ones and then you sell the other ones that are, that are still good, but not, up to a certain spec or whatever, then I ended up, paying like $300 for that 4.4 kilowatt hour battery pack. But I really didn't show, how to do it step by step. I kind of already had it done, and I kind of knew it worked, and I never really connected it to an inverter on camera on that video. And so even though it inspired a ton of people, it keeps inspiring people, it's almost got like 1.5 million views right now. It wasn't really a thing where you could follow along. It was more like I was sharing the idea, I was sharing the concept, and I think it inspired a lot of people. A lot of people, you guys went and started doing your own research and now are building or have built stuff, right? So it was great. It did its job. But I think this time around now, I think I want to do it more where I can explain to you step by step, right? Especially because now it's a much more intricate thing and more involved where I develop a system. This is not just like a, you know. I mean, I guess there was a system before and a lot of people copied it. Right? It served as a basis, I think, for DIY power holes around the world. And so that was good. But this time around, I want to do better. So that's, you know, perfection. It's the enemy, right? They say, but at least if you try to make it a little bit better than the last time, then you're in a good place, I guess. And that's what I'm trying to do. Just to make a little bit better video than last time. Let's see what's going on here. Do you have a BMS to sell which I can buy? So I have BMS board. So I've designed a board where it will allow you to connect to install BMS units, right? You can buy those, and I have links on the everywhere on the kit.com thing and the videos once I yeah, I don't think I made videos about these yet. Yeah, so in the kit.com I have, and in the group, and so you can install the BMS thing here and you connect it here, and then that works together with our, you know, PCB system, right? So when you attach it here, then all the connections are made through the board and stuff, and it just kind of simplifies. There's nothing special about these boards. There's no electronics in here. It's just cables, and it just simplifies the whole cabling thing and physically grouping of the battery. So you can make a pack that's like that, like a little pack or a huge one. And so that's what I have to offer right now. We're kind of sold out on those little BMS units. We all order them, right? So everywhere in the U.S. stock, everybody that had U.S. stock of those are kind of out right now. So I ordered some on Amazon. I think like they're not gonna get here till like mid March or something. I ordered those like 2 weeks ago or something. It's crazy. So you guys are buying them and they're building them, obviously, right? That's how I know that it's working. That you guys are building stuff, because things are sold out. I'll make you the shiftiest unreliable 30 kilowatt hour power roll, right? What's been your biggest failure during your trial and error training? Well, yeah. What's been my biggest failure? What has been my biggest failure? That's an interesting one. I failed every day, but I feel like I kind of don't, not minimize, right? Because you kind of want to learn about your errors. But, yeah, what would be my biggest, I mean, I don't have like a total failure where a battery like didn't work or a battery caught fire. Like, I've never had that. I did ruin some batteries. Well, it wasn't my, I was being careless, I guess. I did notice that in a car battery that I had, for an electric vehicle, it leaked fluid, the liquid cooling, and so that corroded the cables, the sensing leads, right, and the balancing leads, and so then they shorted out, and so I lost a bunch of modules. I lost quite a bit of modules. Each module has 330 cells, and I lost 4 of them. So what is that? 6. That's 1,200 cells that I lost, right? 3, 6, 12 kilowatt hours of battery that I lost that I could have used for my bus to run around right now, but I kind of lost them because I was careless. I left them there too long and I didn't check them and stuff, and so that's one, I guess. But yeah, I don't know if I haven't. Some of you guys, you probably asked my critics. So okay, so here's one of the biggest failures that I think I have. My biggest critics say that I am a wannabe, and they're partly right, because I am. Because I haven't built a large system, right? And I'm like, well, no, I haven't built a large system I built many little systems because I'm always testing stuff. So I'm always testing concepts, right? So for me, it's much more important to like test the concept to see that it works, that it could be built, that it could be scalable or whatever. And I do that, you know, through different ways, not by scaling a thing. Like I couldn't afford, you know, like because I am having to test so many different concepts and battery types and, you know, products or whatever. I just can't be building these giant systems, you know, one here and then like tear down another one. It costs a lot of money and stuff. And typically, you know, these videos haven't been making me money. I've been kind of broke for 3 years, right? So I've been struggling to like, you know, stick with it so that I can make money. And so I haven't. So I think that's probably my biggest failure, not being able to like shot my biggest critics and be like, here's a giant, you know, 100 kilowatt system that I built that I use every day. You know, it's like, they're like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about because you haven't built it. I mean, what are you talking about? Like, if that's the only way that, you know, someone could be legitimate, that's a weird, and then you know, I mean, they're dumb, right? Because if that's what it takes to legitimize someone, then I guess I'm not legit. What are they doing here paying attention to me? Who's the dumb? Who's the dumb one? The guy listening to the dumb guy or the dumb guy? so there we go. Let's see here. Is there a way to contact you to help me out? I'll pay you for your time. Yeah, I have a service that it's on every video. Like if you, when this video once it like publishes, there's like a link down there and it says, how do I think that's what it says, right? Like, let's see, can I look at it? Where can I learn more about batteries? Where can I buy batteries? How can I consult one-on-one with you? And there's a link there to a service called Fan Time. And I post sessions there when I have time. I've been really busy this last month, and so I haven't posted in there. I think I posted one day, and it was last minute, and no one caught it. I didn't announce it or so, but usually I'll announce it. I'll be like, oh, I'll have some time this next week or whatever, and I'll put like half-hour time slots, and then you can go and, you know, you can reserve them or whatever, and then we talk. It's a service where on my computer you go and we just have a live chat like this, you know, but it's just you and me, and we can hear each other, we can see each other, and we just talk about, usually about your builds and stuff and what are you guys doing. That's the easiest way that I figured that I've done it. But I wish I could do it more, and I think eventually I will get into a pattern. It's just right now it's been kind of crazy with this build that I'm doing here. I'm doing a bunch of other stuff that it's not very apparent to you guys, right? Because it doesn't involve the video stuff, and yeah. Let's see here. Saludos desde Bolivia. There we go. We have Frank Stephenson from Bolivia. When are you going to make an electric motorcycle? Take advantage of all that hype going with the Harley Livewire. Yeah, it's weird. Again, it's weird because I tend to build stuff that interests me, right? And so I'm not a motorcycle guy. I don't own one. I've never really had interest. The other day I was moving around all those Alta motorcycles that EV West has gotten their hands on. And I thought like, oh, this seems like a cool thing. I've never ridden a dirt bike before. I wonder if like I should jump on this thing and go for it, right? I mean, it was the same thing with like skateboards. I never skated, and I had zero interest in skateboards. If it wasn't, you know, for the batteries and the motors and the technology, I would never pick up a skateboard. And now I like them. You know, I'd ride whenever, you know, I can jump on one and, you know, kind of keep up with, you know, someone without, you know, falling every turn or whatever. I think it's a great thing. I think I could really enjoy it. I totally see the appeal. I'm thinking about some other projects that we can use to, you know, for some of these other batteries that we're dealing with, like these, you know, these ones that I'm building this pack, right? They can do 150 amps, and so that's a very peculiar thing. You know, there's a lot of power that you can pull off of a pack. They're not particularly well suited for storage. You know, you're kind of wasting them in storage because you don't need, huge amounts of power out of usually storage battery packs. But they would work for, motorcycles. They would work for like electric go-karts, and they would work for like RC cars and, stuff that has wheels. Not flying stuff doesn't work because you need them to be light and small, and these are not energy dense. These are power dense, right? So they can throw a lot of power, but they're not as dense as LiPos. So LiPos are better suited for flying machines and flying stuff. So yeah, I think one day I will. One day I'm gonna discover, motorcycles. I'm gonna be like, wow, we gotta build a motorcycle, and then I'm gonna be like, oh my god, where have motorcycles? How come I never, looked into these? These are the best things. Yeah, am I live? Yes, I'm live, right? I'm good. Maybe there was a little glitch or something. Is that what's happening here? The batteries I got, 2900 new. Wow. Oh, that's crazy. Well, I see they're new. But are they new or are they tested that? Oh my god, you guys are going... I'm going slower, you guys are going fast. Hey, Mooch is in the house. Mooch, battery Mooch. Yes, that's true. The max is over 4 amps. Stay under 2 or even 1 for longer life. Mooch is in the house. Did I have something to say to him? I think so. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, have you seen let me see. Oh, look at that chat message me. Let me see if I can link up this thing. There's a very interesting test going over here in our group where Justin, this is a person that the member of our group over here that helped me design the PCBs, right? And he developed some testing, like a little battery tester cycler, right? And he's done about 500 cycles on those batteries that we were importing, the Revolt cells, the cheap Chinese batteries, right? And let's see here. Can I share this? How do I share this? Pose. Save this pose. Remove pose, delete pose. Oh man. Okay, no, it's not gonna be easy. Okay, I'm gonna mark it as an announcement, and then I'm just gonna share the link to the group. So if you're interested in seeing that, but anyways, it was very interesting seeing those cheap Chinese cells. They go well. They outperform like the quality cells, right? Like the good Samsung cells. But then around 340 cycles in, they just took a dive. They just started dropping, and where the name brand cell kind of kept going down, but it's kind of like linear or whatever. This one's just fell apart, and they lasted 500 cycles, but by the time they're at 500 cycles, yeah, they're like 1900 milliamp hours out of the original 2600, right? But they when they were new, they were like more like 2800. So it's very interesting. Now, the interesting test to do is, this is of course like worst case scenario. This is like a full cycle at full like 1C, I think, right? So it's a pretty hard life, It's like you charge it, discharge it kind of fast, all the way down to all the way to the top, right? So it would be interesting to see how much they would last if you would give them more like a Powerwall life cycle, right? Like, not all the way down, maybe down to 3 and up to like 4.1 or 4 or whatever, and then do that and see if that could extend to like, I don't know, 500, 600 cycles, 700 cycles, who knows where it's at. But then that would be very interesting, because I think those are batteries that might be common and from the cheap, Chinese, shops. And the data is there. If you have I think I linked it. Did I link it? Just in case I didn't. Yeah, there it is. That's the link to the group. That's some work that these guys are doing. Justin, he does good work, and he's building the actual hardware to test these batteries and stuff. And I think he's going to make it available, so we're all going to be able to do that with ourselves. If we want to buy a cell, for example, right? We don't know if we can trust it. We can buy one of these little cyclers, put it on there, and it'll just log and it'll just charge, discharge. It's all automated and stuff. I mean, it's an invaluable piece of gear that why it doesn't exist yet, I don't know, right? But it's a little thing, and it should be pretty cool. And yeah, that was something interesting there. Just ordered a good batch of the LiFePO4 cells to help drive the big robot. The big robot trying to replace the SLA batteries that are currently in the Beast and trying to get continuous torque up enough. Wow. You should be able to get that. Oh my God, there's 253 of you guys watching. Okay, questions. Let's see if I can find a good question here. I was busy talking, so you guys weren't asking me questions. Okay, I'm gonna go kind of to the bottom. I bought a lot of color charger that quit working before 2 days. What charger system would you recommend? I wonder why that. I mean, yeah, they're cheap stuff, but I mean, look, we beat up ours and they're still going. Ask Tom. He's like, only works those things up like every day, all day. I have some Boston Sonatas 5300. What is a good BMS for them? And 18650 cells. So same BMS will work for those. You just need to figure out what your pack is going to be, right? The BMS doesn't care where the power is coming out. There's two main types of lithium batteries, right? I mean, there's a bunch of them, but like really, there's two. There's like 3.7 volt type of chemistries, and then there's a 3.2, right? And so when it comes to the hardware, like a BMS, it can distinguish between what chemistry it is, as long as it's the right voltage for cell, then it's good. There are a couple other voltages that are like higher, than 4.2. There's some that go up to 4.3 or whatever. But I think the most common are those, and so it wouldn't matter. So just pick one, design your battery pack, figure out how much you need out of it, and then go look for that BMS. If you need 100 amps, then try to get some, and if 100 amps continues, try to get something bigger than 100 amps, because then nothing really works for long at peak. So you gotta, build redundancy. Not redundancy, you gotta build like headroom and equipment and stuff like that. Let's see. How can I see your samba? I will be in Fontana next week. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy next week. I'm super busy next week. I got a shoot. We're doing the NASCAR shoot, and then right after that, I leave. I actually have. Oh, guys, I actually have my anniversary. Wait, what is it? On March. Wait a minute. Tomorrow's my anniversary. March 5th. So March 5th is my anniversary, my March anniversary. So we're actually going to go on vacation. We've gone to places here and there, but I haven't really taken a vacation where like it's a vacation. We're going to go, right? And so this year I'm taking my wife to Maui. We haven't been there. I've been in the other Hawaiian islands, but I haven't been to Maui. And so she gets a week starting on the 18th. So we're going to be that week of the 18th to the 24th. We're going to be roaming around, just enjoying Maui, taking some time off because I've been working really hard. And I haven't really taken a lot of time off. So yeah, if you're on Maui, if we have in Maui, hit me up. Maybe we can meet up, get some coffee. You can give me some pointers about that island because I've never been there. I know there's a ton of stuff to see. Right, but you gotta know it, and I've never been there, and I really haven't had a lot of time to look for stuff to do there. So yeah, sorry, I can't. Next week I'm super busy. YouTuber creator question. Ooh, there we go. Film Gab. What have you found to be the best outdoor clip mic, wireless or wired, or software to reduce background noise? Wait, what have you found to be the best outdoor clip mic? You mean clip mic like lapel or like? So I don't use lapels, but I do have a full system with lapels. Actually, let me see. Here we go. Do I have it? Yes. I usually don't have it. I let my brother keep all my gear, my production gear, because I don't use it, right? I use my little... Yeah, so I have a full kit, and I use pretty much industry standard Sennheiser things, and they come with the little... There's like, those are like kind of expensive. They're like $600 kits, right? So each one channel costs you that, and they come with like, you know, quality microphones or whatever. Those do pretty good, and they do have the little dead cats or whatever that you can put on there so that to minimize the like noise, like wind noise and stuff like that. Those work awesome. So if we ever need to mic someone, we do that. But your best bet really, it's like, you know, one of these guys. I usually use the Rode. These, the top of the line Rode, whatever is Rode Pro something, whatever. Oh, Video Mic Pro. And this is cool, right? I'm recently just trying these Deity B3 or something it's called. And it's got the same features as that one. It turns on automatically when you turn the camera. Although right now I turned it off to save the battery. It's got an internal battery. It's a lithium battery inside. It's much smaller and lighter, and so I like it. And the sound, I think it's about the same as quality-wise. So that's what I use for sound. Those work really good, and I usually just get close to your subject or whatever. Let's see. Schematic for the better than Kodiak Soul Generator. We're going to surface from your bottom. Let's do list. Yes, it is. So I've decided, yeah. Okay, so the reason why I haven't just thrown it together, it's because I can't finish that project. Although I think I decided today. So I'm like thinking about it, like, how am I going to do this? The problem is that those batteries are crazy powerful, right? And so the last feature that I'm building into that thing is the external battery. And so, you know, it should be pretty easy. You just put, you know, a connector to the battery, and then you put connect your external battery in there. But the problem is that because those batteries are so powerful, if you have a nearly dead battery inside, you know, in your main unit, and you have a fully charged on the external battery, and you connect them together, then the differential voltage is going to be of such, you know, difference that it might dump a ton of power in there. No, it definitely is going to dump a bunch of power. More than, you know, it's going to melt cables or maybe like ruin BMS, because, you know, each of the packs has a BMS unit. But if you overload those BMSs, what they do is they burn close. So that means the MOSFETs stay on, connected. And so that's not a good thing, because then that means it's just gonna melt and everything's gonna burn or whatever, right? So I've been thinking about how to limit that, right? How to limit someone, or how to prevent someone from not paying attention and connecting a fully charged external pack into a dead thing, and then just have everything melt because it's gonna, you know, go above the ratings of the cables and stuff. And so, you know, I tend to complicate things, right? I'm like, well, I need something to the thing, and I'm like, what do I do? Do I just connect it into the, because the inverter has a solar charge controller, right? And I think 24 volts is too low. I'm like, I could just put it in there and then just treat it as if it's like a solar, right? Well, that wouldn't work if we have like a solar connected also, right? So it's either solar or an external pack. So now I'm limiting myself, and I don't think it will work with 24 volts. It needs more like closer to 40 volts solar for it to be able to work. And I mean, I can put like another meter with sense so that it's, you know, set the amperage or the wattage on those cables, and if it over goes to that, then it just sets it off. And I think that's maybe what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like a resettable breaker, like a DC breaker, right? And so I'm gonna probably get something like 40 amps or something, and or 50 amps or whatever. And if it goes above that, it's just gonna trip it, right? And so if you connect it and then it trips it, and then you can like turn it back on and it keeps tripping it, it just won't let you be connected long enough to start either ruining BMSs or melting cables. So that was the reason why I haven't been able to finish that project. But it's like if I do like put the schematic in there, I want to do it so that it makes sense. I just want to add it like just on a comment or whatever. I think I'm gonna republish that video and then show how instead of doing the battery packs without a BMS, then we're gonna show you the video that I already did with the BMS. So it's like I'm revamping that whole thing so that it's a complete project. And so now that I decided that I'm just gonna use one of those things, now I gotta go find it. So if you have any suggestions how to do a breaker, like a resettable breaker that can do like 50 amps at 24 volts, then post a link so I can go and look it up, because I gotta look for one, order it, and then once I do it and build it or whatever, then I can put in a schematic, and then I can publish it. I just don't want to keep publishing, schematics. So yeah, it's quite involved. You know what I mean? Because I'm trial and erroring the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's a simple system, but it still takes a little bit of figuring it out. Use a DC to DC converter. Yeah, I thought about that. Yeah, I thought about doing that. And that is one way to limit the power, or at least control it so it just feeds it at a rate, right? And it might be a better one, because then because what happens if you have a dead battery and a fully charged one and it keeps tripping the breaker? It won't let you use that battery, and would be annoying, right? Because then you're like, I have a fully charged battery here, but somehow I can't use it. Maybe a DC to DC would be better. You're right. See, that's what I've been doing. Like, I've been doing that for a couple of weeks now. Like, oh, I'm going to do a DC. No, I'm going to use a solar charge controller. No, I'm just use a controller, like a charger, like an RC charger. But I'm like, they're too expensive. No matter how I look at it, there's always the drawbacks lead me to go somewhere else, and I've just been going around in circles like that. Woo, we have another member, Kevin T. Thank you for joining the channel. Go to Little Beach next to Big Beach on Southeast Side and film it. Oh, the nude beach. Best, cheapest fast fish place to eat is across the street from State Park and the Blue Trailer on way down there. Yeah, so I heard about the nude beach. It's across the little. Yeah, I think I saw some videos about it, and the guys, there's a couple talking about that. There's a membership that gives you the green name and the symbol in the chat. Yeah, there you go. Use inline resistors. I am using that for hybrid capacitor battery build. Inline resistors. Yeah, that's another way to do it. Those puppies can push 200, but I would build a pack big enough where you won't stress the batteries out like Jay did with his generator. The cells are great. Yeah, so 200 amps per pack, and I'm using 6 packs, so they're capable of like 1,000 amps, right? So that's the problem, and that's why it's scary to just connect 2 packs like that. They gotta be fairly similar. Throw over switches. Yeah, I mean that's essentially what a thing is, right? A resettable trip breaker or whatever. Eric the Goat Man, thank you for the $5. Maybe I can buy a battery system from you, and it can be a collaboration. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we can do it. Have you ever looked at Simplify battery? No, I don't know. 10,000 cycles, 80% death to discharge, and offer a 10-year warranty. They use LiFePO4 battery with an 80 amp breaker. No, I never seen those. But yeah, I think 10,000. I think there's ways you can use 10,000 cycles. I wonder if they. Wait, so you say 80% depth of discharge? Yeah, so I think you can get. That's typical lithium iron phosphate, I think. Oh, what's going on here? This thing. How to test and balance 32650 LiFePO4 batteries. I need to test 152 pieces. Thanks. How to test and balance? Get yourself a. What's that one that people use? Let me see if I have one here. Which one is it, guys? Oh yeah, the Opus. Oh my god, this thing is so dusty. Whew, I haven't used this in a while. Yeah. Oh, but wait a minute. You said what? 32? 32 650s. Yeah, I don't think this one will do 32 650s, right? What's the Oh yeah, wait. 32. The 32 is the fat. It's the girth. And 650 is 65. Yeah, it'll do it. I think you could use this one to do those. If you can squeeze them in there, you might only be able to do like 2 at a time or whatever. But I think that's what you can do. Random Brandon says I made a sale. There you go. Whoa, it just jumped to the. From my arterial shouldn't mitigate any lost energy. Okay, so since you're new, I would wait till Jehu puts out schematics. They are easy to damage if you're not careful. Trust me, I kill. Just by being stupid. Hot blob of solder can kill them. Oh, what are we talking about here? I wonder what we're talking about here. Well, I'm actually kind of going slow because I can't read. Let's see. Rand says, for all those of you who don't know, thumbs down should only be used after a video has been muted completely. I only understood the necessity of thumbs up in the last year. It's a big deal in support. Yeah, it is because that. Well, the robots look at it as engagement, right? And so it'll decide if to share the video or not with people, basically. And if there's a lot of thumbs down, I guess it's like, oh, this is bad. People aren't liking it. We should not share it. JB says, I have no idea what I'm watching. You're watching some guy blab about batteries. It's about the world's most boring conversation. But somehow there's enough people that find it interesting to sit down every week and talk about this. Let's see. When building a power wall, what voltage is safe to touch roughly? Yeah, I mean anything below 50 volts, it's safe to touch. You can start feeling like 30 volts if you have sweaty hands. If your hands are wet or whatever, but if you have dried hands, you could touch up to 50 volts and you won't feel it for the most part, especially DC. It doesn't feel like AC where you can totally feel the flow of energy. This one's are just kind of tingle a little bit. It's not as crazy. Let's see but I could be wrong. Okay, so let's see. I got an 8001 inverter for my system. I'm building, going to pick up a few 335 watt panels soon. So I'm looking for batteries, obviously. Yeah, everybody needs batteries. Everybody's gonna need batteries. Today, I think San Bernardino County announced that they will not be given permits, I think, to build large-scale solar arrays. I saw that on on social media, which I was like, yeah, that's probably a good thing. We don't need more. Well, actually, I mean, we do need more solar, but I think solar right now is causing more damage and stress in the grid than it's actually helping, right? So there's surplus of energy during the sun hours, and then there's deficit as soon as the sun goes down. So there's a discrepancy, right? So in order to fix that, you need batteries, right? Like one giant battery or a bunch of distributed batteries in everybody's home. So batteries, it's what's gonna fix this current problem that we have of having too much energy at one time during the day and too little at another. So batteries is the deal. That's what, the state should be mandating batteries, but of course I don't think they know that that's the problem. Or I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, right, with politicians and people that make policy or whatever. Dan Lim's OFPK, I don't know what that kit is. Could you recommend a good inverter to use in a grid tie system? I mean, depends what kind of inverter you need. I know that people are using like micro inverters, right, behind every one of their solar panels, and that really works. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to doing that. Of course, there's some disadvantages to doing that, right, also. But I'm gonna start testing this guy. It's a little Chinese one. By the way, the cheap $100 grid tie inverters outside, that's it, they died. I went back there and both of them are dead. And I don't know if I was just careless and I didn't know. I know one of them, the fan failed, and I don't know if I just left it on, like accidentally, and it just burned itself out. But then the other one burned out too. So I don't know. I have to go check them out. But anyways, I got one of these, and I'm gonna be testing this guy. This is a this is a grid tie inverter. But the interesting thing about this is that you could use it with a battery pretty much out of the box, because this is a balanced load inverter. Basically, it has a thing here that measures. It has a shunt or a Hall effect. And you can put it on a line. You can put it on your main panel, for example, and this will not put out more than your house is using, right? So if let's say that this is a 1,000-watt inverter, right? But let's say that your house is only consuming 200 watts, right? Because the fridge and whatever else loads that you might have in your house running, it's only using 200 watts. Then this guy will not let more than 200 watts go into your wiring of your home, which means that it will be very close to zeroing out your usage, as long as it's below 1,000 watts. If it goes above 1,000 watts, then this thing is probably going to go to max, right? And then it's just going to stay on, and then you're going to pay the difference, right? But if you have a couple of these units, for example, then you can do up to 2,000 watts, right? So this is a pretty interesting concept, and because of that, it allows you to actually use a battery, because then that means that this thing is not just going to suck all the energy off of your battery, as soon as it can and dump it into the grid and just send it off to your neighbors. It's just going to use whatever your house is using. And then you can connect a solar charge controller directly into that battery. So as this is, throwing whatever energy your house needs into the wiring, then your 100% of your solar can be charging your battery, right? Of course, if the battery's fully charged, then it'll taper down, and the solar charge controller is going to take care of that. But anyways, this is one that I'm going to be testing and using. I think this has a lot of potential. It's not as cheap as the other ones. These are $400, I think, or $350, something like that. I think you can find them cheaper at like AliExpress. But I ordered this through Amazon, and it was about $400. And I'm gonna be testing that guy. I can't wait. I think once I put the solar batteries. Oh, the other thing that I'm going to test is to see if they work with 24. Yeah, the first thing that I have to check is see if they work with 24 volts, because that's the battery packs that we're building here. Or 48. I think it does. I think it starts like at 20 volts and then it goes all the way to like 50 or something. Let's see. So like 100 volt plus is dangerous? Yes, 100 volt plus is dangerous if you touch it. What do you think about Kodiak 2? Is it worth $1,300? I think $1,300 is a much better suited price. You know what? Let me pop out the chat, because yeah, definitely that is well better price than the other one. The other one was ridiculous at like $2,500 or something. But yeah, I definitely, yeah, it's a much better thing. It's so crazy that they can just like half the price and somehow give you better, you know, either the same or better specs, right? So that means they were overpricing the last one, the last version. Yeah, definitely, it's a good thing now. Let's see. So I want to make a 96 volt 40 amp hour battery for my e-bike. Wow, you guys are at 96 volts. I have over 400 18650 batteries, and I want to make 3 packs of 9S 15P. Also 9S, so what will that be? So 9 times 3, is that what you're going to be doing? So what is that? 9 times 3, I'm bad at math. I have a 96 volts system in my car, but I use 30 cells in series, right? So you're going to do 27. Yeah. Will your inverter not handle all the way up to like 130 volts? If it does, then you probably are better off doing like 10S, you know, 15P, and then you have 30 cells in series. I mean, you know, I don't know, it's just that's what we're doing in our cars. And it works. But yeah, you might have a different system or whatever. How to DIY your own BMS from components. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing that. There's a lot of projects that are starting to make their own BMSs. I haven't seen any that are particularly that I like, other than the one, the Electrodacus or whatever, because that guy is building a pretty cool product. You know, it's like, because it's not just a BMS, it's a BMS but with a graphical interface and instructions and wiring diagrams, and it just walks you through the whole thing. And it's also a solar charge controller. What else? A logger. This will log your energy, your solar energy, and the whole thing. So yeah, this is a pretty powerful little device here, and he's currently in production. You have to like pre-order them because he does buy batches, so that's the only thing that kind of sucks or whatever. But I think, yeah, he's building quite a bit of them, because he put up a, what was it? GoFundMe? Was it? No, it wasn't a Kickstarter. He did a Kickstarter campaign, and I helped him, you know, kind of get the word out or whatever, and it got funded and stuff, and now he's building those. I think they're due out like in May or something like that. So a couple more months. Let's see. Dan Lim's kit looks interesting. 64 cells connected in parallel. 64 cells connected in parallel. No soldering. Fuse assembles in 15 minutes. Cost looks a little high, I reckon. Yeah, he's gonna have to get like So like everything, right? Like you have to start really mass producing the stuff to be able to drive the cost down. And so it's gonna be tough, right? Like the only reason why I think my PCB kits will eventually, I think, survive, it's because I will promote them, and I think I'm gonna get a lot of people to buy them, right? I'm gonna build promotional stuff. I'm gonna build my batteries, and I'm gonna be like, and so because they're gonna be popular, because I will be pushing it, then that's gonna drive sales, and I think that's gonna help us, like, you know, be able to order larger quantities and be able to kind of like, you know, dictate the lowest prices on some of the components or whatever. But when you're starting out, even if you have the best product in the world, if you just don't know how to market it, if you don't have some kind of marketing machine behind you to get people to get behind it and buy it and use it, yeah, you're never going to get the price down, because you're never going to be able to, you know, unless you get some crazy funding. That's another way. You get some funding. But for me, that just, you know, it's almost like that's not in the cards for me, because I can't get people to give me money for for stuff, right? Easily. So, but there's a lot of people that are good at doing that, and so they can get funding for a project like that. I think I've seen it, right? It's the plexiglass one that's in the group. I think he posted it in our group. Can I use a 750 watt-hour scooter battery pack as a Powerwall? Yes, pretty sure you can. You just have to find all the equipment that works with their voltage. Usually scooter packs are 10S, so 36 volts. There's some equipment that works out there. I have that currently. What's powering these lights and everything that I'm using here in this desk, it's coming off of that box, which is a 36 volt trip light UPS, and it has batteries inside there. I put those blue hoverboard batteries. So yeah, I'm doing that. Dan said he was inspired by Jay in Second Life storage forums. Ooh, there you go. What is the failure rate of the micro inverters nowadays? That's an interesting question. Yeah, I wonder what they are. They had a horrible failure rates about 4 years ago. The last time I looked, all manufacturers had bad reps. Really? Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting if you know, if you're using inverters, do comment. Let us know how good or how bad those are. What's the link for the matching battery capacities into packs? Repacker.com, right? Repacker. Curious, would it be reasonable to replace the batteries in my golf cart with the built battery pack? Yeah, people are doing that. There's a lot of companies that are doing lithium iron phosphate, because, you know, they're large, and yeah, they're doubling, tripling the capacity of those batteries. So that means you have to charge it, you know, 1/3 less times. No, is that how it works? It'll go 3 times farther or longer, you know, between charges or whatever. People are doing that. The only problem with those inverters that only distribute power you're using is the insurance will not cover you if you have a fire. It sucks, but you have to say to yourself if it's worth it or no. Yeah, that's true. The inverter, man, what's the name of this thing? Like all Chinese companies, it's kind of weird. Whatever wait a minute, it might be here. Whatever the name is, they don't put it out there. I think because this is like an OEM. It actually looks pretty good. Like, it looks pretty good quality, and the size is a lot smaller than I was expecting. Right? It looks really big on the pictures. So Yeah, it doesn't say brand, but it says model L2-1000W-DC22 to 60 volt V-B. Normal AC output power 950 watts. Maximum AC power output power 1000 watts. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the brand name on this one. I'll have to look at it in Amazon, but here's a pic. Let's see. This match is held for review. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, those are those. So I'll show that picture. There we go. Yeah, definitely seen those in the group there. There, he posted there, and they. Yeah, it's a good idea. Definitely, it would work. Yeah, he just has to. I don't know what's the price. Do you know? Like, what does it come out to like per kilowatt hour? I didn't look for the price or the thing. All things Electro says Electrodacus is bloody great. I'm gonna get one. Cool unit. The tiny BMS. For motorcycles, I've heard you can get a module from Zero in Scotts Valley, 27S3P, 100 volts, 100 amp hour. 100 amp hour? Cost, I don't know. For motorcycles, says run on them. Yeah, definitely. I think yeah, it kind of sucks because I think we could have gotten the Alta battery casings, but I don't think they were available. I think they either someone bought them, someone destroyed them. I don't know. Like I don't think they were available for sale, but it's a cool little casing like this, and it's I think it's like that. It's like a 96S or something. 7 kilowatt hours. Yeah, I mean it's great for like that dirt bike or whatever. But I think it just wasn't available. There's pallets and pallets, I think, and we were able to get the batteries, right? Or EVOS was able to get batteries, but not the casings, which sucks. Can you do a link for the orange controller, please? The orange? You mean this guy? Yeah, the Electrodacus, right? That's the only orange one. Yeah, it's the Electrodacus. There should be one in my... Here we go. Let's see. YouTube. It's going to be slow. Let's see. Let's read some more while that loads. Jehu, I've been watching you for years. Just build a simple 12-volt system with a BMS and market it. I will buy it. I am not a young man, and I do not understand a lot of this new technology. Yeah, well, that's the problem, right? There's not a lot of lithium iron phosphate, which is the best, in my opinion, the only way to make 12 volts. And so it just kind of comes in waves, comes and goes, right? So when it comes, then, we kind of rush and build little projects and stuff, and I share them with you guys, and then, it sells out. And so that's what I'm doing with this little battery pack. I'm going to put it in a little box. I'm going to wire it all up, put a little BMS, and it's going to be a pretty... it's going to be a pretty little box that can give, it depends on what BMS... I tried to order another one of those BMSs, and like the seller that I bought it from only had one, or it's sold out now. So I haven't been able to find that exact same unit to double up, so it can do like 200 or 300 amps instead of the 100 amps. So that's what's stopping me on that one. Let's see, did that load up? Let's see. Here we go. YouTube. Channel. My channel. Community. If you go to the community tab on my channel, you will get to see when I post stuff. Oh, here we go. Let's check this out. Okay, so if I copy link. All right, here we go. So that's the link for the Electrodacus. Oh, that's a long link. Is he gonna let me put it on there? it's longer. What? Okay. Hold on. Let me. It doesn't. It's more. It's longer than it allows me to do. Is it really that long? Edit. It actually is not that long. Okay, here we go. There we go. So I just put that link on there. Wait, any thoughts on Tesla's impending bankruptcy? No, I haven't even heard about that. What's going on with the impending bankruptcy? I thought they had a lot of cash on hand. Is that not the case? Ooh, 8S, 24S, LiFePO4 battery. So 100, yeah, let's see. Oh, 300 watts. Yeah, but look at that, it's 100, well, that's $100. I guess it's not that much. Well, but see, it's 8S to 24, so it won't do 4S, which is what I need it to do. Unless they have, no, they don't have it. Yeah, so that one won't work, because that's a 24 volt. I need a 12. I'll show it. Let's see. I heard you laugh a few minutes back. I laughed too because I could tell you hit my last comment. You had hit my last comment. I wonder what that one is about. I'd be willing to invest a reasonable, non-rich person amount of money if someone has a solid plan. My wife probably not so much. Yes. Is there anything wrong with using a regular charger plug into the inverter versus a solar charge controller? The inverter I'm looking at has a battery low volt cutoff built in. Battery, okay, wait, so let's understand your question here. Is there anything wrong when using a regular charger plugged into the inverter versus a solar charge controller? What's a regular charger as opposed to a solar charge controller? So you mean like from the wall? Inverter, yeah, I don't understand what you're trying to do there. Yeah, I don't, you'd have to add like more details on there. I'm going to need a partner. There are pretty good now. We do a lot of Enphase IQ7s and 7 Plus. Yeah, so Enphase seem to be dominating the market, right? I think that's what Michael at EV West got in his house. And by the way, he's got a ton of panels. Like he has a little house, a tiny little house, and it is just, I think he's got 42 panels of the 70 whatever, not the 60 cell kind, the 72 cell kind, I don't know, something like over 70. They're the big ones. And he's got them all on Enphase microinverters, and it's cool. I mean, he shows me the app, and he could tell, you know, which ones are shady, right? If there's a tree that shades this thing, and you can tell that they're like in the production, because they're, each panel is like a little, you know, contained system. And so that has a lot of benefits. It keeps your system like really optimized, right? So for efficiency and stuff. Yeah, and he's the only thing is that he doesn't have a battery. He's dumping some crazy amounts. I think there's been a day, I think he told me this past year, where he almost made 100 kilowatt hours into the grid. It's so crazy, or more. I think like around 100 or past, just past 100. You have one video that you don't recommend us to buy a Kodiak. What changed now? Also, can I use any panel for Kodiak? Because their price, it's a little high than other, what panel you recommend to use. So yeah, the reason why I said not to buy a Kodiak is because you can build a better system yourself, right? You can, so the price to spec ratio was really off. Like it was about $2,500 to get a system that you can build for about $800, I think, something like that, right? That's what the thing came. So that's the only reason. I mean, the Kodiak's great. It does a thing. It does the job, right? It's just really expensive, and you can build something with better specs for far less. But now that they've slashed the price in half, now it becomes a much better, more attractive system. And so now it's hard, even though it's still a little bit higher than what you can build. Of course, building stuff, it's not easy for everyone, right? It's like, there were some guys that were saying like, oh, it's going to be thousands of dollars in tools. When in reality, I'm like, I have all the tools. Who doesn't have like a screw gun and some bits and a screwdriver and, cutter, wire cutter, stuff like. But it turns out there's some people that don't have any of that stuff, right? So if you're someone that doesn't have it, yeah, you're not set up to build something. So it might be a bigger deal than for the rest of us that are just building stuff all the time. But yeah, that's basically what changed. I think as far as the panels, you just have to make sure to look at the right specs, right? I don't necessarily know the specs of the Kodiak out of the top of my head, but basically it's like the voltage has got to be within range, and also the wattage. You can't, if the voltage is lower or lower, then it means you can use more panels in series, but then that might get you past the wattage, and it might run your unit too hot, or you might burn it up if you're putting too much solar in there. So you just have to look at the specs and then see how much, how many panels you have to use. I haven't, like I said, I don't own that unit, and so I haven't looked into it with any, with a lot of detail. I want to build and sell solar generators. Kevin, do it. There's so many people that ask me to build one for them. They would pay me money. Do it. I'll send you all the people. I'll be like, here's Kevin. Interested party, meet Kevin. He wants to build you the thing. You can pay him. Yeah, do it. Set up a thing. Set up a little, website thing or something, and then, yeah, I'll help you get customers, because they're coming to me and I don't know what to tell them. I tell them, no, I can't do it. Why can't I post Amazon links? So I think it's so weird. Links are supposed to be not allowed for people, but a lot of people do post them, right? A lot of them I have to actually manually allow. But there's a lot of people that will just not let you even post it. So I don't really know why some people can do it and some people can't. There's been times where I myself can't post links in my own chat, which is kind of weird. Yeah, but yeah, if it doesn't let you, I have no idea. I'll try it again. If I see it, I'll allow it or whatever. Is there a good low battery warning systems? There's a ton of them. So I have that one. Look, let me show you one that I'm gonna use. Oh, well, yeah. So this one's one that I use. These are like little meters that I've used in several of my battery builds or whatever, and they either shunt base or they have a Hall effect sensor or whatever, right? I probably won't be able to open this one too much because it's got that cable, but it basically measures the current or the voltage, and you could totally set it to have a relay, and then trigger it if the voltage goes below a threshold, or if the power goes above a threshold or below a threshold or whatever. Well, not below, but above. And so they're very, very, they're very good for building a battery pack or some kind of device that it monitors your battery and it'll step in and disconnect it. The problem, I haven't been able to find a relay that we can use that it doesn't use a ton of power, right? Because relays usually they have to energize the coil. And so I know that such a thing as a latching really exists, right? But I haven't found one that we could use. I did some research, and it seems like it's a thing that just kind of exists as an idea, but no one offers one. Then there are these guys. There's a bunch of these little guys that you can buy on Amazon and stuff, and these are, yeah, they have a relay built in here, and then you could, a little screen, and you can set to disconnect after it hits like a threshold. There's several of these. I have a couple of them here that I was gonna build something with, and I never have, and they're just sitting there. So there's quite a bit. Yeah, both of those are programmable, but the only thing is that, yeah, that one's like rated at 30 amps, I think that's what it is. So if your system is within 30 amps, this one will handle about 30 amps. Then you can use this. Of course, if you have a bigger one, then you can set up an external relay or whatever. But, you know, the bigger the relay, the more power they use. And that's the only bad thing that I haven't been able to find a workaround for that. Let's see here. Woo! Okay, so it just jumped. I generated 48 kilowatt hours today. Not bad for a March in the ND. Wow, 48 kilowatt hours. Hi, Jehu. You the man. I appreciate all your ideas and sharing your awesome finds. I finished a 4 of 20 so far you sent. I am still waiting for your kit. I ordered back in late December 2018. Much love. Huh. Oh, Ernesto. Oh, yeah. I got your email that you were missing something. I have to look into that to see what's missing. I looked your name really quickly, and I was like, oh, my God, you got so many orders. I'm like, which one is missing? So I'll look into it. I'll definitely look more into it and then see which one is missing so that we can get you all set up so you can finish your project. Wow. 4 out of 20. For what? Like 4 kids? 4 battery packs? What's going on there? You're building a big battery pack because you bought a lot of stuff. Is there any automatic solution for switching to grid to off-grid solar panels won't connect to each other? Yeah, I think so, right? I think there are, they're called hybrid inverters, and you can like connect your solar panels to it, and then it could either send them to charge your batteries, or, you know, yeah, or use it, yeah, is that how it works? Yeah, or send it to your wiring to the grid or whatever, and you can program it like time-based or all kinds of stuff. Yeah, there's a whole systems that will handle that. I have very little experience. I never used one. I just know that the concept exists, and there are those things that exist, and I just haven't used them myself. Have you ever performed a range charge test for the Revolt? Have you ever performed a range charge test? Yeah, so I actually linked to that. If you go to the Facebook group, the announcements, I just made an announcement today, so it's easier to find. Go to the announcement section, you'll see there's like all the graphs. We've been doing cycle testing on those batteries, and you know, we did one where it was like really harsh conditions, right? Full depth of discharge cycles at 1C, right? So about, wait, at 1 amp or 1C? I thought it was 1C. So they're kind of quick, they're fast. And yeah, around 340 cycles, they take a dive and they start degrading much quicker. But they lasted all the way to like about 500 cycles, right? In that duty cycle. So now we're gonna do another test where we're gonna go light duty, right? Like more like Powerwalls, and then yeah, go and look at the thing there. There's a thread, it's pretty good. It's got like all the charts and all the graphs and stuff, and Justin's doing an awesome job on that one right there. Ruben Dominguez, good night. You have a 9 to 5 tomorrow in New York City. There you go. Yeah, so trolls can't spam. So trolls, yeah, the people will post like, links or whatever. In your solar generator, you say that the Giandel 2000 watt pure inverter has a built-in solar charger. Yes. For some reason, the factory specs never mentioned that. Can you confirm? Yeah, no, unless. So here's the thing that happens. I haven't checked to see that link, because I have so many links, I can't keep checking them every day. But because so many of you guys watch the videos and you guys click on the links and buy stuff from the links, a lot of times sellers, they'll just change that link. It's like, oh, that link is getting views, and they'll go and change the post, and then they'll start selling something else, like a similar variation of that thing. And so a lot of times, I'm like, oh, I didn't link the wrong thing. It was linking to the right product, but all of a sudden it changed, right? So that might be happening. I haven't checked it, but yeah, the one that I linked and the one that I bought for that one has a built-in charge controller. So you connect the solar panels right into the thing, and then it all spits out, 24 volts into your battery. And so it's built in there. Yeah. If it's got connectors for solar panels into that inverter, then it's got to have a solar charge controller, right? Because what else is it going to do with the solar? Like, it wouldn't have the input for solar. Let's see. I have generated 28 kilowatt hours today, but it's only 3:15 p.m. We still got a couple of hours left. I have 6.6 kilowatt of panels and 5 kilowatt inverter. There you go. 28, that's not that bad. Just keep pulling parts from every corner of the room. Yes, this room is it's a mess. It is. I haven't mastered the art of keeping stuff organized and clean. It's a bit of a mess in here. You can't tell because the way the camera is, it seems like it's semi-clean in here, but it's a mess, and it gets in my nerves sometimes, right? Nah, I have to clean the garage, get rid of all the stuff that I definitely don't use, and then take half of the stuff in here and throw it over there. So then I have this is a giant table here. I can't use any of it because it's full of crap. I'm just storing stuff here, over there, same thing. I need to get into the habit of I'm gonna work on this project and then bring it out here, and then that's it. When I'm not working on that, then it's gotta go into storage. Table space should not be storage, right? But it takes a long time to learn that, right? Like people that worked at shops and stuff like that, they learn all those tricks and they learn all those philosophies. I never did that. It's just me, just doing my own stuff. I still don't know the feng shui of a whole working, shop. My man cave isn't that big. Mine is not organized. Whoa, wife took the big room. Oh no, you gotta get the big room. Well, yeah, it's easier when you're making the bigger portion of the check, I guess, of the the bills. If you're bringing in more money, then you're like, I need bigger. And especially now, I'm working here, so this is my office essentially. So it's like, yeah, it's easier. I'm always late to this live stream. There you go. But you made it. I have a semi YouTube studio workstation set up at my house for when I finally focus on one topic. Hasn't happened yet. Yeah, pretty much. I'm the same way. It's so easy to plan for the thing and buy the gear so you can do the video and stuff. And then a lot of people never actually get to the video. So this time around, I was like, forget it. I'm not going to plan anything. I'm just going to concentrate on doing the video, doing the thing. Forget the camera that I have. And eventually I have the cameras and I have a setup. And I have this room or whatever. I have so many ideas how to get this room set up for easier videos. But who knows when I'm going to get to that. So 80% of all my gear is Victron. There you go. You like Victron. I am making Jehu's solar generator. Oh, there you go. Bought a box that's twice the size. Twice the size. Originally $59.99. Wait, which version? Not the original one, right? This latest one. You got one that's twice as big as that? That's a big box. For the trailer, but have Pro Sign 2.0 from long ago. Their MPPT controls are great. That's the Victron stuff. Let's see. Whoa, okay, just jump. Can you put a controller that can disconnect you from the grid when using solar and Powerwall and put you back on the grid when power is discharged or during nighttime? Yeah, you could totally do that. I'm gonna pull something else from my pile over here. Let's see. Where is it? Let's see this thing. Where are we? Oh, here we go. So you can buy some of these guys. This is not the one. Yeah, you can buy some of these where like it's a clamp. Yeah, it's a clamp, Hall effect sensor, and I have another one in there that you can adjust the amperage. However, when it hits a certain amperage, then it closes the circuit here, and you can set it up to, you know, turn like a couple of relays, which then can turn on or off equipment. So you can design a system that, you know, while there is power coming from those solar panels, for example, right? If when the sun comes out and there's enough power, it sets a threshold once you see, you know, whatever, 3 amps or 5 amps or whatever you set it. Then it turns on a relay, then it disconnects your power from the grid or something. Like you could, yeah, that system, it's quite easy to make it. The equipment is there. By the way, I have all these linked on my kit.com stuff if you guys want to, like, almost like, I don't have everything up there, but a lot of stuff that I find that might be useful or whatever. I made a kit about all that stuff that I use it. Here's my kit. Analytics. Oh, there we go. Not analytics. View my profile. Oh my god, it's not working. View my profile. Nope. Oh, look at that. I have to unlink jehugarcia.com because that doesn't work. Does that work? Let's see if that works. I don't know if that works. I don't think so. Oh, there we go. That's the link. Okay, here we go. So that's my kit.com. Yeah, I have all kinds of stuff in there. Where can I get your 26650 PCB design? I only got that fits 18650. Oh, so actually it's not my design. That's someone else's. But I have a kit. Here we go. Let me see here. Yeah, is this it? Yeah, here's that kit for that PCB. Is Nate Patel's kit that he's doing, and someone else is fulfilling that, so I don't have anything to do between those two. You know, like one guy designed it, the other guy is selling it, and so, you know, I'm just forwarding interesting parties to them so they can, so you can buy it over there and then they can send it to you. let's see. What else do we got? Jay, you're like me. I start 70 projects at once, and every flat surface in my house and shop is filled with unfinished projects, waiting for there more parts or more time to finish. Yeah, that's been the last 3 years of my life. I'm just, you know, yeah, there's just, you know, it's like, it's so hard to like finish a thing, but you know what I mean? Like, because there's so much stuff to do. So there's more work than time, right? That's where I've been stuck for a little while, and I have to start turning stuff away. And I think I've gotten better at it, but I still, at least I don't take projects. So I used to do a lot of stuff for a lot of people, but now at least I'm like, no, I'm only doing my projects. But now I have to now start vetting my own projects and be like, no, I don't have time for that. I have to finish all these ones first. So either I have to get faster at doing projects or start turning more of my own projects down. Let's see, Jehu, that's called ADD. You need meds to get organized and get things done. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it that I have some kind of condition. Drugs fix everything. Yes. Why have you got your heater on? Just joking. It's 30 degrees here. See it here in Australia. Yeah, it's actually, yeah, it's kind of cold out here in California, especially, and for us, you know, we're wimps. We get cold. We shiver at 50 degrees Fahrenheit here, which I don't know what would be in Celsius, but yeah, it's not cold compared to the rest of the U.S. where it's actually cold, you know. Please share your 26. Yeah, there we go. I shared it, right? There we go. All right. Let's see. I bought a refurb working rack mount 2000 VA APC UPS on eBay for $175 Australian, so about $124 US. Going to pick it up this afternoon. Damn, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's not bad. $100, $120 for 2000. Well, VA, right? So, what is that? 1500 watts, something like that. I think, yeah. That's not bad. It's probably gonna be what, 48 volts, right? How does fan time work? So I have to put time slots, right? So I have to like, oh, I'm gonna have time this week, and I usually pick a time where I'll have time, and then I'll put the time slot sets, and then people go and reserve them. So there's nothing there because I haven't put any. I guess I could put some up this week. I think I'll have like, you know, like sometime around noon. I'll probably have like an hour like for the rest of this week on a couple of days, I think. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll try to do that tonight. That's how that usually works. But I haven't been super active this month because it's been kind of crazy. All right, good buddies going to bed as well. Early morning work for you guys. And more importantly, is your heater running off grid? No, it's not running off grid right now. I actually don't have a lot of battery. I only have enough battery to run this stuff, so I don't have a huge... Oh my God, this battery is dying. Okay, a quick break. I'm gonna change the battery on the camera because my camera runs off battery.
first again?
Yeah, I even look at him. Look,
Like, hello.
I look at him. I'm just like, hey, can you hurry up and say it?
Alrighty, here we go. Now we're back with a fresh battery for our camera. So, I should buy some Maxwell. I did buy some Maxwell, but they were used, and the listing on eBay was for new caps. So I kind of asked the seller, and I don't know if they answered me. I haven't checked on that. Downtime, highest bidder wins. Good luck. So yeah, I actually could make it for you guys to bid, but I usually do a flat rate or whatever, and then there hasn't been a high enough demand right now to make that feasible. But you know, I do have a limited amount of time that I can be there talking. So what do you think about adding a capacitor board to your project? I think it's completely unnecessary, right? Because it's going to be a large battery pack with small loads. That's really, I mean, that's the design criteria that we're going for. If we were the other way around, a small battery pack with a... What's wrong with you? This guy, I think, wants to say hi to you guys. Come here. Yeah, if it was the opposite, then it would make sense. Ah, hey. No, they're looking at us. Now all my friends are looking, boy. So this is Rocket, and he was trying to get my attention there for a while. Nelson, hey, good night. Everybody's dropping off because it's late. 9:40. There we go. Yeah, so that's why I haven't thought about supercapacitors, whatever. What are you doing, boy? No. No. Go play over here with your brothers. Come on. Go play over there. What is on your wall on the right-hand side? Or about your power setup here? Yeah, that's a couple of my batteries. I used to have a big battery here. I took it off. I never made a video about this one, but those batteries became unavailable, so I don't see a point in, you know, spending time doing that video if people can't buy the battery. Over there, I did a project, and I actually have a video here that kind of repeats, goes on loop. That was the original power wall that I built 2 years ago or something like that, 3 years ago. I don't remember how long ago. And then these two were added, but I decided to change the battery, and I sold those batteries eventually. So right now those are empty, but all that's going away. I'm changing all that stuff, and I'm gonna put this new system with the PCBs. Everything's gonna come down on the two big power walls there, and it's gonna be around what is it? So 6, right? 6, 12. So about 24 kilowatt. So in that wall, I'm gonna put about 24 kilowatt hours worth of batteries. I don't know if I'm gonna do a 48 volt system, or if I'm going to, I think I'm gonna attempt to do a high voltage power. So there, by the way, if you guys don't know, here's what's happening. Tom from batteryhookups.com, if you don't know batteryhookups.com, he's the guy that has some of the best deals on surplus recycled batteries, but he does a good job at testing all his batteries. There's a link at the bottom of this video here to his store. He has gotten his hands on some inverters. I think it's like 6-7 kilowatt inverters, and they're actually like very, very good inverters. They're like $3,000 inverters that you can set them off grid, you can set them grid tie, and I think you can set them for batteries. So I think these are like these hybrid type of inverters, and they are surplus from like some government thing or something. And so There's quite a bit of them. I think he said like 600 of them, and he's gonna sell them for under $500. Right? He was just kind of working out. He was trying to find out like who knew how to work them so that we have like a procedure. We just don't want to throw them out there and be like people, kind of, have a hard time figuring them out. So those inverters will work for a battery setup like this, but I think the caveat is that you will have to have a high voltage battery, somewhere around 200 volts. And so that's going to be the challenge. And I mean, it's no big deal, right? So if I have 4 of these boxes and each one can be 48 volts, I'm gonna have to do 5 boxes. Let's see. Yeah, 48 volts times 4, so it's 192. So we're almost there. I don't know the exact minimum voltage that those inverters will take for a battery, but hopefully, yeah, I'll be able to do it either with 4 of these boxes or 6 of them, and it would be 6. So 48 times 6. Oh my God, that's like 288. Yeah, that's some high voltage. But I think it's probably going to be useful because then it will allow you guys to buy a cheap inverter. I mean, not cheap, but like a super affordable, like a deal of a lifetime, right? Something like $400 or $500 for this 7 kilowatt inverter that you can use grid tie or off grid, and battery power, right? And solar. And so, yeah, I think it's gonna be great. So I might attempt to actually do that here. So I might actually put 6 of those boxes, which is 3 power walls essentially. So it might be more than 24. Yeah, be another 12 kilowatt to that. It might be a sizable battery. What I'm gonna do here. There we go. Wait, what's happening? 400 or larger. Hey, Tom. Tom is in the house. It's freezing in Philly. However, science shows the cold weather burns fat cells and likes to have under 6 years. I'll be attractive. Come on. I think it was that cold last night here. My water was frozen. What? What happened in years? 2010, remember the TX Super Bowl? Yeah, people are frozen across the country. We're over here like, I think it was 60 degrees here today or something, and we're dying. I didn't see the link for the battery hookups. Oh yeah, get the battery hookups link. So since I'm building that little battery for the LiFePO4, I have that link here. There you go. That's a link there. And then, yeah, the kit one, the one that Island Times, thank you for posting that. It's always also, there's a bunch of links there. Oh, so yeah, so the group buy battery website wasn't really mine. It was, a partner that came and he had batteries and he had, he had batteries essentially. That's what he had. So he set up that website and he was running it. But again, like I've said in many of these videos, it just didn't work out. He was kind of sloppy, and so he wasn't taking care of the customers, and it just made a bunch of problems, right? And so since I'm not doing business with him anymore, then that website went down. And he was kind of sloppy. He didn't pay his bills. I keep getting some bills from UPS and all the stuff. Hey, settle down, boys. You guys are too loud over there. So yeah, for now, the kit.com, it's where I post all the links to all the good deals. And that was, that had already been set up since before. So that, the group buy website was just temporary kind of thing. So I have, I see. He linked it up there. Okay, let's see. Another question here. High voltage sounds awesome. Oh, well, It does, but you know, I'm kind of afraid that some of you guys out there might do sparks. But I mean, I'm gonna try it, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this. How do we do it so that people are safe? I don't know. That might be an impossible thing. Adam, the car audio guys are buying the prismatics faster than I can test them. Guys from the New York show up every week and literally wait for them to finish capacity tests. Yep. Yeah, those are going up. What's MSFT? Battery hookup sells on eBay. Yes, they do. He does have an eBay store. Whoa. So the Bay A123 system modules kind of blow? Really? They're not that good or what? Sounds like it could be quite a pain. Just bought 40. Michael Perks says just bought 40 K2 26650 26650p 2600. Yeah, LiFePO4 batteries. First project attempt. Oh, yeah. Okay, be careful with those because those are kind of scary. They put out a ton of power. If you short them out, it just melts anything on its way because they can put out, I think, 150 amps. I mean, they're rated 150. I haven't tested them. These guys are just crazy. Yeah, definitely not much capacity on those guys. Those were designed for hybrid buses, right? So they need a lot of power just to get the bus going. And then once it was going, then I think the other system would pick up or whatever. Go Clippers. There we go. I'm really thinking about getting 20 super LiPo cells and making an all-wheel drive electric go-kart. Do it. I actually been thinking about a go-kart built. And the other day, I think my computer's like reading my mind, right? So AliExpress showed me like this kit that you can buy that has all like the main, like the axles, the rack and pinion for the little drive for the for the steering system, and some hubs and like all like just like a little. You just have to build a frame essentially. And I'm like, oh my god, I need to build this. So the idea is kind of forming in my head. Because that's one way you can show like batteries, the power of batteries, right? Like if you can get like a little vehicle that just, like it just shreds tires, right? Like if you do this thing that just goes like up to like 50 miles an hour in like a split second or whatever, or it just spins tires, you can do donuts. There's one way to visually see like, oh, these batteries are pretty amazing. They can throw out a bunch of power. And so I might have to build that. I mean, not to mention that it would be really fun to own that. Build it and own it. So the one little here is providing power. These lights and the computer and everything that I have here it's set up in a backup battery right now though. So yeah, if the power goes out, this stays on. Like maybe the big lights will go off and everything else, but my setup here stays on. That's how I have it set up right now. Yes, my dogs are just going at it. My e-skate goes 29 miles per hour uphill, 12S, 3,500 watts. Wow. What kind of motors do you have in there? ¿Piensas hacer videos en español? Sí, en algún día. Quizás voy a poder, pero ahorita estoy muy ocupado. Cuando haya ingresos para poder, ¿cómo se dice? To hire some help. para poder agarrar a alguien que me ayude. Someone asked if I will ever make Spanish videos, and I said, yeah, I think when I have enough of a budget to hire someone to help me, then I'll be able to create more content, right? Because right now I'm a one-man band, so I have to do everything. The project, the video, the setup, the editing, all that stuff. So I'm just not, I can totally see them humping in the background there. Too much happening in the background. There you go. I've had a go-kart electric, though it just don't have the room to do that where I live at the moment. Oh, there you go. I want to build an electric Lotus 7, small chassis car and light. There you go. That's like a real car though, right? Go-kart, let's go. What do you think of a huge headway 38 120 HP bank for 12 volt inverters? Ask Island Times. He knows. He has one. He's built that system. I would say he's the expert on the headway batteries. What the hell is going on here? Well, they're having fun. DD40X man, night. We'll catch you guys on the next one. How hard is it to convert a normal small car to electric? I mean, it depends. It's kind of a weird question to answer because for some people it's not hard at all. For other people it's almost impossible, right? So, I mean, it requires a lot of work and it requires some engineering. You either have to sub out that work, the engineering work, and so it could be really expensive or it could be really cheap, depending. Like if you're gonna convert a Bug, a BW bus, like a classic one, then there's not much engineering because everything is done, all the parts are done and figured out, and someone will sell them to you. EV West will sell you the kit. You just have to buy it and connect everything and install it. But if you got some weird car that no one's ever done and it's got very particular powertrain and you want to use the original transmission, then you have to make custom parts, right? So that could be easy or hard depending on who you are and what your level skills are at. So it just depends. I bought a club car, golf cart for $100 and built a 60 pack of those 200 amp cells to run it and recycled the 6 volt bat Trojans for $200, almost free DIY. There, what? You got $200 for the bad batteries? That's crazy. Oh yeah, this is this is like the free the nipple campaign. This is like humping is a natural process. Some white dogs hump each other on TV for everyone to watch. Hobby King skateboard conversion kit, pulleys and stuff. Oh wow, so they're like that, huh? It's in Island Times a lady. Island Times, are you a lady? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's a lady. I want to do an electric hot rod. Can I reach out to you when I'm ready? Yeah, sure, do it. I can't guarantee that that I'll be available because I'm like super busy. But yeah, show me what you got. If it's exciting and it gets me interesting enough, maybe, you never know. I'll maybe jump on board and help you. Model S 26,995, brand new. Elon dropped the price. Wait, for the Model S? You can get a Model S for 26,000? No. I don't think that works that way, right? Make power bank for gaming laptops. Yeah, I think me and Tom were talking about that. About some kind of thing for the gamers. Because there's a huge thing on the gamers. On Craigslist, you can find Razor scooters and golf carts with lead acid batteries for almost nothing. That's true. Can you use an old forklift motor in an AEV? Yes, you could totally do it, but it's not. You won't. The problem with these C motors is that they don't make very reliable daily drivers. You know, you can make like a race car, or you can make like a drag car or whatever that you use. You know, only a few hours. You know, every month or whatever. But like a daily, yeah, it's just too much. You end up having to change the brushes all the time, and yeah, they just don't last. Too much maintenance. Guys, settle down. Try to play. Boys, try to play more quietly. Come on. Trying to do a thing here. All right, I think they understood me. Like a union blower. Yes, they are. I heard 35,000 base. No, but that's not for the Model S. That's for the Model 3. Yes, $35,000. And supposedly they're gonna announce the Model Y in March 15 or something, right? Like the middle of March or something. So the cheap car is coming. The cheap Tesla is coming. The Model 3 is the $35,000. What's going to be the Y? We don't know. I think it's going to be the cheap $20,000 or whatever. And of course, that's going to be like 3 years down the line. But here it is. 3 years ago, he announced the $35,000, Tesla. And everyone said it wouldn't happen. It's not available. People are saying that they're going bankrupt, right? Like, didn't someone ask about the impending bankruptcy? Yet, here we are. They're shipping the $35,000 car. Elon's just doing his thing, Yeah, he's a little bit late from time to time, but he's doing some crazy thing that is pretty epic. Not a lot of people can swing that kind of thing that he's doing, and he's hitting performance goals constantly. So it's pretty amazing. If you want to be, you got to give him props. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not impressed by his performance, you're just a hater, or you don't really understand, or your biases are like just, really bad. Because no matter who you are and what you think, you got to be able to look at this man and be like, damn, that guy's, he's doing some crazy things, right? He's performing. He's taking that whole industry, by storm. Yeah, the dogs are male. They're all male, so they're just humping each other. You got some gay dogs. Check the price on the link from Tesla. Oh, that one? Yeah, but that's a Model 3. You see that? Yeah, that's a Model 3. Let's see. Oh, no, that took me... Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that's after the rebates. It's actually a $35,000 car. But after the rebate, it's about $24,000. And that's a Model 3. That's not a Model S. Which is a Tesla. Don't get me wrong. But it's just not a Model S. It's the cheap Tesla. So yeah, these ones are like low voltage cutoff circuits. You can find them on Amazon. Like, let's see. So we can type in, let me see. Let's do the thing. So he's asking about the low voltage cutoff. Hey. Come on. Don't be crazy. So it's model XH-M604. Look at that. Bam. It's coming up. Oh my God. Oh, look at that. A whole $13. Let me get you the link here. There we go. So this is the unit that I have here in front of me. And control module. It's called battery charge control module. Battery charge DC 6 to 60 volt protection board for our automatic charging stop. So yeah, it's essentially what you were asking. You don't think my dogs understand English? I think they understand every single word that I say. They don't care. I think they're like, we understand what you're saying, but we're not gonna do it. I have a community member making a how-to video. They will be available very soon, probably next week. Sending one to Jeho as well. So once all this info is vetted, they'll be available. Oh yeah, Tom, are those 6 kilowatt or 7 kilowatt inverters? Because I kind of remember they were like legit, like, you know, big, right? They're like, you can run a house off of them. Maybe some kind of UPS for DC 12 volt gaming laptop router with option to charge and discharge at the same time. Yeah, definitely. That is, I mean, yeah, that would be like a huge thing in the gaming community, right? I mean, yeah, it's basically a UPS that it's designed specifically for the gamers. Like you have here's how you connect your router, right? Because you also have to power your router, because if you want your system to stay on while you're gaming, then you have to plug all those other things. So Model Y is the small SUV. Ooh, there we go. It's coming. It's coming, man. It's supposed to be an SUV. Yes. Are you going to continue getting the K2 3200 milliamp hour cells when this batch runs out? Yes, we will have more. So there will be more. That's so this could be like a constant thing that you get, right? That's cool, man, because that way, yeah, people that want to build 12-volt batteries, you know, out of lithium batteries with lithium, then they will have something to offer to them. Elon rocks. The media loves him like they love Trump. Yeah, that's true. Getting ready to order. Can't wait. They're happy nuts. Personally, I own a Chevy Volt over a Tesla, hands down, but I just built my own. So, by the way, the Chevy Volt is a pretty amazing car. If you want to get into an electric vehicle and you can't afford a Tesla, or you can afford to not have more than 300 miles of range, Chevy Volt is the perfect car, because it allows you to be electric, you know, short range while you're running around the city every day, maybe like commute every day. But if you want to just bail out and go to, you know, to visit, you know, or go cross country trip or whatever, you could just do it, because you could fill up that little tank, you know, gas tank, and it just runs like a regular car. So it's a pretty amazing thing, you know. There, on paper, it looks like it's wasteful because you're carrying that extra engine that doesn't do anything for all the short trips, right? But you realize that how much we value convenience, and if you can just don't have to think about, if you forgot to charge your electric car in the morning, it can ruin your day, right? But if you forget to charge your Chevy Volt, no big deal. You're just like, okay, whatever, I'll just use gas. It's already there. It won't let you not have gas. It'll bug you to go fill up the small, you know, 3-gallon gas tank that it has or whatever. So you always have it. It was pretty brilliant. I got to give it to Chevy, you know, and their engineers. It's a pretty seamless, you know, system that they built, and it's fun to drive, and it's good, and it's, you know, it's reliable, it's cheap. It's kind of sad that it's going away, because I think it was the crossover, right? It was the car that we needed to crossover, and I think there's still a large portion of the population that might want to get into an electric car, that might want to, you know, explore it without going all in or whatever, or that just need to do long distance driving, you know, often. That car works. And that's the only car that right now in the market that does that. You know, in some ways, it's better than a full electric car in certain situations, right? So, I mean, Teslas you can charge on the way because of the supercharger network stuff, right? So that's, yeah, they're getting there. It's just, you know, they're really expensive. So if you can't afford that, then, you know, this is the only car that works. Yeah, Chevy Volts are good. So if you're thinking about that, right now is your chance to get it. I think in like August, I think, or June or August or whatever, they're gonna shut down the plant where they make them, and so that's it. This is gonna be the last model that they make. They're still making it right now, but I think once they stop, then that's it. Like, this is the last year that you'll be able to get it. Can you show the battery charger again? Which one? Which battery charger? Thomas Puzak in Jehu's Facebook group is testing the inverter. They were made for NATO commercial buoy systems, and Thomas actually installed them a few years ago, so he will show us everything. Oh man, that's pretty cool. Think the Senate and Congress hate Elon upsetting their money sources out of oil space. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. That's the problem. I was arguing with today. I posted something about like the U.S. is a nation of immigrants that hates immigrants, and then people didn't like that, and they were attacking me, and I'm like, you know. So I was arguing that, you know, that it comes down that I believe that all politicians are corrupt and they're useless or, you know, evil or whatever. And I mean, you know, it's not that. That's an oversimplification of a complex problem, right? But yeah, I think there's quite a bit of that. I think, you know, Congress, yeah, it's tainted by all the money that they're making, right? Was it 80% of them are millionaires or something like that? 90%? I don't know. I saw like it was a huge amount. Like there's a huge amount of our Congress people that are millionaires, right? So they see things in a different way. They have, you know, interests that are going to be ruined by these new technologies, and of course they don't want that, right? You know, change is hard for everyone, but I think mostly for older people. As we get older, we tend to fight change more. And so, you know, when you look at who is running our country, who has the positions of power or whatever authority, it's usually older people, right? I mean, yeah, there's a few young people like that, you know, Puerto Rican girl that's coming in there, which that it's just young, but I think she's the outlier. She's not, you know, the norm. And so, yeah, change is a thing that is hard to get past, at least with those in power and stuff. So that's crazy. On ncon.ru, you can get 18650 cells. Oh my God, come on. I lost your thing. Okay. You guys are going too fast. Been a long time. You're looking a little grayer. Yes, I am grayer. Time is taking its toll on me. I'm not escaping it. I printed a battery holder for the Fiat, for the flat batteries, for my GEM car. Oh, there you go. Any more 26, 650, 35, 3700 milliamp hour LiFePO4 in the pipe? Did those run out? I think those run out, right, Tom? There's awesome. Okay, that's design. Let's see. I wonder how far the Tesla Space Roadster is. I think there's an app. I think there's an app that tells you how far it is. I think it's in a elliptical. It's in an elliptical orbit around the sun, right? So. Yeah, so we get close and we get far, and when we get close and we get far, I think. But I think it's a super long. I think it's a long time before we get like really close to it, right? I don't even know if I'll have to look into that. But I kind of read an article that was talking about that stuff a while back. How are the supercapacitors working out? Have you looked at the Battleborn batteries? I haven't. I haven't touched them because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to return them because they're not new, and I bought new, and I don't know. Before I, go too far into that, they might not even work. They have like this little, they look beat up, and maybe they're okay, but, I don't know. It said new. The ad said new, and I thought I was buying a new thing. I am considering to fly to Miami to buy a 2017 Volt, then drive back to Iowa where I can charge it in my garage. 99% of my drives are 0.7 miles. Yeah, you're perfect for that. I mean, you'd never... I mean, I think it will make you use that gas in that gas tank every 6 months or something, so it doesn't get old in there, but yeah, you will be able to kind of, experience that car, 100% electric, and you'd be driving electric. The 3700 milliamp hour cells, we have some more, but they are not the most common we get in, unfortunately. The heater on the wall. It's not that bad. We're just wimps here in California. We can't handle the cold. Do you think converting a UPS style delivery truck is possible? I don't know if you can see my pictures, but that style of truck. Yeah, no, you could totally do it. It's going to be quite expensive because you need a big battery. So those trucks use quite a bit of energy to get going, right? And so to move them around, they're heavy. They're not the most efficient body style or whatever. So yeah, it would cost, even though battery's the cheapest it's ever been that you can get right now, it would still be, I'd say, $20,000-$30,000 just in battery. Then you gotta work, gotta do the motor, right? And motors, powerful motors, have been scarce. Up until now, you could buy a Tesla motor, right? 500 horsepower that you could put into a vehicle like that, and it will run just fine. And you have the power, and you have the torque. But those are kind of expensive because they're kind of new still, right? So you can get those motors for a few $1,000s, but then you have to get all the equipment to get it to work because it's a kind of a hack thing. And it's a third-party software that we're using to run them. So yeah, I think a full system ready to go, I think would be about $12,000 for the motor. But then you have to do a tons of engineering to put it on that truck, right? Because again, no, not a lot of people have done it. So so it would cost quite a bit to do it, but you can do it. Definitely can do it. You like the Volt over the Prius? I think any day. I think I never used the Prius, and it was a weird-looking car. I drove it once, and it felt weird. Maybe I'm not fair because I didn't really give it a shot. I just never liked it, and I think it was the most uncool car in the planet. Not just because of the tech, right? Because it was like halfway there. Because it's just never electric and not fully. It was just kind of in the middle there. It didn't make up its mind. So I never liked that about it, right? And then the whole community that got behind it, right? People were flexing their green status by driving the Volt. It's just the whole thing, made it the Volt, uncool. I mean, the Prius uncool. Where the Volt didn't have that. The Volt just came out, and you're like, oh my God, this is an electric car. Like, sure, you have all this extra equipment just in case that you need it. And it turns out you need it quite often because you're either careless because you forgot to charge or because you're just driving all over the place and going far places. And so it just works. It's a cool car. I worked in the car industry. Picking something over Chevy would be insult to my friends. What? I see. You described it as the top end where it stops charging at high point. Can it also start charging at a low voltage and to stop when it's back up to normal charge? So is that for me? I wonder if that's for me. I think this is... I thought this is for the bottom end. I don't know if it will do top. Let me see. Do I still have that in here? Let's see. I still have the link here. Let's see. Amazon Charge Control, Battery Charge Module, Protection Board, Automatic Charging Stop. So it says this product suitable for 60 to 60 volt battery charging control can set up the modes of charging voltage and stop charging voltage suitable for use in home charger, solar energy, wind generator, input charge 60 to 60 volts in, and connect storage battery in out, and for example setting the 12 volt start and 15 volt stop. Yeah, so yeah, it'll take care of both ends. I think when the voltage is less than 12, the relay closes and send the charging voltage of the charger to the battery. When the voltage is higher than 15 volts, the relay disconnects and stop charging dischargers. It's quite intelligent, helping save electricity and safe automatic power outage. Save energy, save, yeah. So yeah, so this, yeah, you could totally set the parameters top and bottom, I think, on these guys. 3700 sold fast. I bought 260 each of the 3200s, but the 3700s offer more storage for the buck. Yep. Oh, man. Oh. So I may need to convert my F550 soon. California or Canada is banning my year. Really? That's a truck, right? An F550? That's like a giant truck? It's possible. It's just, you know, it's just a big project because it's a big car. We call the Prius the birth control car here in Europe. Wait, what? Why is it the birth control car? I converted a VW Rabbit pickup in 1997. What? There you go. I'm working on a DIY 1860 laptop battery. Can I use 2 BMS? I'm working on a DIY laptop battery. Okay. Can I use 2 BMSs in parallel in one pack to get more power? Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that with my big packs over there. I'm using 3 per board, and then I'm using 2 boards per stack. So I'm using 6 BMS units. And some people are predicting that they're gonna fight each other to try to get the voltage or whatever. Maybe. I haven't seen that yet in tests. Right? But definitely, even if they don't work 100%, I think it's adding one level of safety that we didn't have before when we're just building these packs without a BMS, right? So yeah, maybe there will be some issues, and maybe we'll jump into another bigger, you know, BMS unit that, you know, that will work better or whatever. But as of right now, that's what we're using, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're just paralleling BMS units. Austin heart surgery. Our accountant was having trouble this week. 100%. Okay. Thank you, sauerkraut. In California, a Prius would get you dates. That's right. Women do tend to think more about the environment, and they appreciate that sort of stuff. So you would get some points with the ladies, I guess, huh? Wow, I didn't know that. Can I use? Yeah, so I actually answered that one already. They like environmentalists, girly men. That's right. Not the type of date I'd want to have. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think there's everything, right? They come in all shapes, sizes, and levels of of annoyance. I think. I'm sure there's nice people that think all kinds of things too. What is going on? Who sent me so many messages? Oh, did you receive the power supply? Oh, yes. Yes. What's the price on that? By the way, someone sent me these power supplies. I guess they have a ton of them. Hey, no. There's no food. Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't come over here like... So they have a bunch of these power supplies. And they seem like they're really high quality power supplies. Maybe some of you guys might know. It's called LPAC Power System. MSMP 250. And it's essentially a 36 volt power supply. It'll do 11.6 amps peak, 9.6 amps with a 40 CFM forced air cooling. LPAC Power Systems, model MSMP 250 36D. So it's essentially like a 300 watt power supply, right? And it's got, triggers for the fan, and they're brand new, and I think they have a lot of them. I don't know what we're gonna use them for, what we can build with them, but because of the 34 volt, 36 volt voltage, right? Yeah, we have to, I don't know, we have to figure, and I don't know what the price is gonna be that he sent me the thing. So he's asking, so I think, if anybody has any ideas on these guys, 300 watt power supplies, 36 volts. I haven't opened the other boxes. I think maybe maybe the other ones are different voltages. I think I'll probably look at them before start going too far into that. I don't like the look of the Prius, but I think the Prius advanced the fuel efficiency initiative back in the days. So I give the car a lot of credit. It was a good stepping stone. Yep. All right, guys. I need to start my day here early. It's 8. Oh, wow. You're on the other side. Aren't old Prius owners vegans or something? Yes, right. That is the whole social thing that became a thing. You couldn't flex your environmentally status if you didn't have a Prius. And that's, I don't know, that's kind of a weird thing. Fake news, we're not anti-immigrant, come here legally and we're fine. Yeah, but the problem is that there's no legal way to come for most of the people in the world. That's the problem, right? So the problem with Americans that say, hey, come here legally, is that most of those people don't have any idea of how impossible of a task to come to the United States legally is. For people in the world that are poor, that are uneducated, unconnected, it's virtually impossible. The only way that you can get to the United States is by, swimming across a river, digging a hole underneath some fence, or jumping over that fence, right? Or paying some guide some money to do the thing. So that's the problem. The problem is that most Americans think they don't hate immigrants, but the laws reflect that we don't want them here. We don't want them. We don't want the stupid, poor, uneducated, people of the world. They're a problem. We see them as a problem, even though that's who we are as Americans. We came here because we were fleeing from crappy situations everywhere else, but somehow we forgot that there was a land. And by the way, and we didn't come here benign, like our coming here. We displaced the local population that was here. They had laws and stuff, and we killed them. I mean, we killed their food sources. We our sins coming here are great. So people are like, hey, I didn't come here. I was born here. Like, yeah, but your ancestors did, and so that's the problem. So that was the argument that I was having on Facebook, by the way, because I posted that thing. My wife's an immigrant. Yeah, and by the way, I'm an immigrant, and I am the guy that you're not supposed to like because I came here legally, right? I didn't have 100% say because I was a kid when I came, so I can't be blamed 100%, but I kind of own it. It's like I have no problem saying I'm an illegal immigrant. Even though my status is legalized this time, I'm still no different. I'm still the same guy that I was 10 years ago, 5 years, 8 years ago, whenever I finalized the stuff. But so I'm an illegal immigrant. I came here legally. And I want to say that I should feel ashamed, but I don't, because the reason why my parents wanted to bring me here is because I needed an education, right? And so for the U.S. to say, like, fine, we'll let you come in here, you just have to wait 18 years. Imagine, I would have grown up having zero education. At least this way, I came illegally, I overstayed my visa, and then I was able to get a couple of years, some kind of an education, right? Like if we didn't do that, if we just followed the rules and stayed over there, I would have been, a grown man with zero education. So I would have nothing, kind of stand. I would have less to offer society if I came in after that. And imagine someone else that's coming. At least we weren't in danger. There was a bias against us. That's the reason. I mean, I was denied education in Mexico by whoever was in power illegally for no reason, right? But imagine if someone's denied, something more. I mean, I guess education is kind of basic, but safety, for example, right? Like there are people that are legitimately unsafe where they live, and they need to be able to come here, and they have nothing of value to offer to the average American, I think, right? Like, well, you're not cool, you don't have money, you don't have connections, you're not educated, like, what do you have to offer our society, and so you're like, no, turn the door back on those people, yeah? Like, you're just some poor people, good luck, you're someone else's problem. So I'm one of those people, by the way, like, and so I think it's a lot easier to say, like, screw you, stay over there, you're someone else's problem, when you don't know who those people are. But I think if you were get to know them, I think you would just realize that we're just all people and stuff. And it's kind of a weird thing. This is like literally the best country in the world, right? Like we have the most money, it's the richest country. And so we can spend billions of dollars building a wall. Like you could probably spend that, helping people get out of bad situations around the world. And, they would have a lot to add. Look at me. I don't know what you think of me, right? But I think if you're here, like, watching this thing is because you think I offer some kind of value to society, right? There's a ton of me. Like, those people that were in caravans and stuff coming here, there are, like, hundreds of me. Like, people that just were born in the wrong place, that they're poor, that they have nothing, right? And so to think that if we let them into our country, like they're not going to ever be useful to society, I think that's kind of short-sighted. I think humans have a lot of value, no matter who they are, and not all of them. There's going to be some jerks, there's going to be some criminals, right? No matter what you do. But I think there's also going to be some geniuses that you're not letting in the door because they're poor, or they're, because they because they don't have a thing. So that's always arguing over there, it's like, we need to change the laws in this country. And by the way, I'm not American yet, so I don't have the ability to change. I can't vote, and I don't even believe in the political system, right? Because it's so corrupt or whatever. So it's kind of a weird thing. But definitely, I love legal immigration. Yeah, there's just not enough of it. That's the problem. Let's see here. Do you offer corporate consultancy? I don't know if what I do offer. I mean, I do one-on-one, and I've talked to people that have like ideas about huge projects. And I don't know if I don't know how helpful I've been to them, right? I haven't had one of those guys come back and be like, we built it. We built a solar array, you know, the 50 megawatt solar array that we were thinking of doing. So I don't know, you know, I don't know if I was any useful there. You will hear if I if I did offer some value, and I know that. Let's see. Whoa. Illegal batteries suck. What kind of car do you have? Oh, so he's asking someone. So I have to replace the lead acid with the same value, voltage, and current lithium pack? Yeah, that has to work. Socialists. Yeah. We all have a little bit of socialists. We have to take care of our people. We have to take care of each other. Not everyone can do it. So that's a weird thing about people. I think that's what I don't agree when some people say, like self-made successful people usually say, like, if I could do it, everyone else can do it. I don't believe that's true. I think there's too many variables that play a role in what someone can do, right? And I think we easily discard the help. Like, there's a ton of people that are like, I did all this on my own, right? And you're like, what are you talking about? You were born in a great country that, you know, wasn't, you know, was stable enough that you didn't have to worry about where your next meal was going to come. You had a great, you know, school system. You know, your parents were probably, you know, wealthy enough to have a stable home. Like, there's all kinds of things that happen that people like to just like use as a base. Like, that's normal. That's not a thing that helped me in any way, right? And that's not true. You know, put yourself in the shoes of some of these people in the world where they don't have anything to eat, they don't have access to water. And so, yeah, I think saying if I can do it, everyone else could do it, I think that's not entirely true. I think people that are in similar conditions to you might be able to do similar things, right? But not everyone. Even there, like, it's a huge thing, you know. One person have disabilities, you know, and although not all disabilities are like 100%, you know, apparent to everyone. So, yeah, definitely, I think we should take care of people that are less capable of doing things, pulling their own weight, or offering, you know, value in communities, or, you know, on social structures. I think the fun thing is that Americans go overseas for a visit lots and end up staying there illegally. I was one of them. I have deported from 2 different countries. So there's actually a huge community of Americans in like Baja California, right? Like down south on the border. So here's the hack that used to happen. I was born in Mexico, right, in TJ, and so it's a bordering town, and so I mean, not me, but like a lot of Tijuanenses, people from Mexico, from Tijuana, right? They used to like somehow figure out how to meet the requirements so they can cross over to the U.S. and then they would get a job in the U.S. So they would cross every day, work in the U.S., and then they would go back home, cross back to Mexico, and they would live like kings. They would get like some crappy job at McDonald's, and that was like more money than they could ever make down there, right? So it turns out now Americans have figured that. They're like, wait a minute, you're working over here and then you're living over there where your money goes so much further. So now there's a whole communities of Americans living across the border in Mexico, right? And then they crossing over to the U.S. to get some mediocre job. And then they're like living like kings over there, right? They can either work less, whatever it is that they want to do. And that's a crazy thing. that it's happening. So yeah, you know, and then there's a lot of other people that kind of like just retired. They just go down to Mexico because their money again, you know, goes further down there. Can decide on BMS for 14S 80p 18650 system. Suggestions welcome. Yeah, that's gonna be tough because there's so many and I don't know which ones are good yet because I haven't used them, right? I picked one of the cheapest ones and you know, we're we're trial and error our way into that. If we start having way too many failures, then well, we're gonna decide to change it. But if we don't, if they perform, I think we're gonna keep using those. I am testing different units, right? I'm gonna take this one for a ride. This one's about a $200 BMS. So, and it's made by, who's it made by? Oh, let's see. Who's it made by? Let's see. But this one, you know, has a thing so you can connect it to a USB and have an app. This one, Hill Eater e-bikes Ltd sent it to me. And this is an Energis Tiny BMS. Energis Tiny. Oh, someone said about Tiny BMS, right? Yeah, so this is a Tiny BMS. Is that what it's called? Battery controller, and this one will do up to, oh man, I can't tell, 24 cells? No, really? I think it'll do up to 24 cells. Up to 750 amps with an outside switch or something. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It'll do up to 150 amps like internal using the MOSFETs, or up to 750 with an external switcher or something. Or this one doesn't say, but I guess up to 16 cells. So this one will handle up to 16 cells, which will do 48 volts. I guess stay tuned if this is a good. What did you say? Let's see. We should build a power wall at the border, invite a DIY community, and bring the box truck. Megawatt of batteries. There you go. Yeah, they'll need it. Harvey, I'm a big fan. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'm getting messages all over the place out here. Let's see. $200. Yeah, that's $200, I think. Did he send the price? Yeah, $184 plus $16 for the wire kit. And then the adapter, the little adapter with the USB, I think it's like $17. Yeah, so the entire thing is about $200. And it could do up to 150 amps. So not bad for a controllable. Oh, and it even has a little meter. So this is like a state of charge meter on there. And this is mostly for like an e-bike, right? But it's like for like a kind of high performance e-bike, I guess. But you know, we could totally use it for our batteries. I bet they aren't in Mexico illegally. I bet there's a lot of Americans illegally in Mexico. If you've ever tried to do anything in Mexico, you realize how hard it is and how messed up the infrastructure and systems are over there that, yeah, it's almost impossible to do things up. I bet you there's a bunch of them that are like, whatever, we tried. Even if they try to do it legally, they're like, oh, whatever. Let's just come and do it over here. There's a story, by the way. There's like a national news story that I saw not too long ago about this. Like some reporter did a thing about the Americans living illegally in Mexico. It's a thing. I don't know of any legal citizen who has had a job taken from them that they would want TO. They want TO work? TO work? I mean, that's probably happened. I mean, you can't generalize like that, right? Like, there are, so that was the thing. I remember, like, they're still in our jobs, right? That was the thing. And I'm sure that there's some of that happening. Like, you get, like, look at me. Like, I had one job my entire life, right? And it wasn't like a terrible job. It was like I used to install commercial kitchens, right? I mean, I started sweeping. I worked my way up in that thing. And everyone else was making more than me, right? Because I was illegal or whatever. But that was some job that someone else could have and could be making, like union wages or whatever. So yeah, maybe you could say that I stole someone's job, some legal citizen's job or whatever. While I had that, and I had that job for about 12 years, I think. So there is that, you can't say that it's never happened. But a lot of the people that come across the border, they have jobs that no one else wants. It's just at the fields, picking oranges, washing dishes, right? Have you watched that guy, that killed himself? What's Anthony Bourdain, right? He used to be really good friends, and he appreciated the Mexicans because every kitchen was full of Mexicans. Like, that's what Mexicans do. They cook your food. They mow your lawn. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. Just checking the subject here. I was born intersex, so I'm both sets of genes. It's as common as being a redhead. Hope that clarifies a few things. Just changing. Yeah, that's inner. Wait, what did you call it? Intersex? Oh, intersex. Yeah, that's a common thing now, right? That's in right now. Although I think it's always been there, right? It's just, I think it was kind of taboo before. Now it's like, okay, whatever. That's just what you are. There are tons of Americans illegal in Mexico taking advantage of low wealth living costs. Oh, okay, let's see. Tom, here's a guy in Alva selling 435 watt commercial solar panels. I drove down from Den to buy 6 for my trailer. He has 40 or so left on Craigslist. Island Times, do you have a YouTube? What is the best value spot welder? I want to try copper tabs. So a lot of people are doing the kind of DIY kits that you put together and then you do the thing. I haven't tested them. I should hit one of those guys up and see if I can get one of those, or I should just order one or whatever. Because I do have the cheapy one over there, and it works great for like the real thin fuse wire, right? But it doesn't work good for anything more substantial. So, and I know the DIY ones work, so maybe that's what I will buy or try. What about those $58 BMSs which do data logging and run Wi-Fi? Yeah, so I have one. Wait, do I have one coming? Or I have one here, but I don't have the dongle or whatever to do the thing. I should probably try it. For a weed grower. Yes, we should do that. So I actually, one of the big, Tom's just suggested we should do like a big battery for like a weed grower, which is now becoming, it's because the whole became legal and thing, right? One of the guys that I consulted for was a guy that wanted to build like a megawatt battery in Puerto Rico, and he used to grow weed. So I'm like, well, you have money. But I think what I ended up doing at the end, I was like, look, we're getting to territory where I think you could just buy Tesla power packs around this price. I think it was like $200,000 that we were looking at spending, with my rates in there and everything. And I go, if I was you, I wouldn't go for me. I'd go for Tesla, if you can buy them or whatever. And I think he did. I think he probably went that route because I never heard from him again. And, that guy was highly motivated because he had a legit business that was very profitable. So I think he just bought some power packs and he installed them off grid. And I think he's running his whole weed operation off of that. Let's see. Can you run marijuana grow lights on PCB4 power walls? 1,000 watt lights, 22 per grow house. Yes, you could totally do it if you have enough of them, right? This is a 1C system, so yeah, you need. It depends. Whatever your power. Yeah, it's no big deal. Lights are just another, load. It's not a particularly, difficult load to power. Maybe the only thing is that it's a constant thing, right? It's like it's just that they're always on, I think, right? 24/7? I think if that's it, that's about as easy loads that you can get because it's predictable, right? You just have to build a battery with some headroom and then, if your system can, continuously put out the power that you continuously need, then you're good to go. You just build probably like a little backup kind of redundant system so that one goes off, then you can have the other one, and if you need them to be on, right? Because that's the thing about those plants. If they're not growing, they're not making money. Okay, from the UK. Oh, I think almost we're getting like a whole new thing. All right, let's do 11 more minutes and then we'll call it quits. We'll go to sleep. We'll daydream about the next projects that we're gonna do. Intersex, not transgender. Well, both of those are both of those are in right now, right? I don't know so what's the difference? One is a change of sex, right? And intersex is biologically you're like somewhere in the middle or both, or not 100% on one, right? I think that's what it is. Which I think they're big common, right? Like there's a certain amount of population that is that, but it's just I think traditionally it was taboo or whatever. You didn't know, it was weird, but now it's like kind of people are free to talk about it. It's not a weird thing anymore. I think it depends on the whatever circles. I think I saw like a whole thing about it in the UK. I think there was a thing where they were deciding if they were going to change the kids, like if they were going to intervene surgically. And some people are like, no, don't do it. Let the kid decide until they get older. Some people are like, nah. Do you test all the 18650 you sell? Yeah, right? So I don't sell any, but Tom sells batteries, and he tests them. That's a thing. I think, well, no, he's not the only seller that tests them, but I think, that's how you can tell it's a good seller. If they test the cells. Then you can know that they're going the extra mile to get you good cells. And don't know what's good, bad, use, new. Can you give me a link for those? Oh yeah, let me. Okay, here we go. I get political all day. Look forward to battery talk on Mondays. He used to grow weed. He has money. Well, yeah. It took 2 months to get my question answered, and you answered it. What? This is normal? Oh, yeah. Thanks for that. I'm old, too. You get used to it. Hey, doing a battery for growing and incorporating solar into it to make it renewable would work. Those Jehu get glazed? I don't. I never have. I never felt that I needed it. It's a weird thing. Because, everyone around me does it, right? But I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need to. Some people do it to, well, there's a bunch of reasons why people do it, right? But, like, some people want to, like, slow their brains down, right? Because there's just too much, right? Well, I think everybody starts because they just want to see what it feels to get high. But then they keep doing it for different reasons. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need it. I don't feel like I need it. I don't need to slow down. If anything, I need to speed up. I want to be more productive. Yeah, and I don't need to figure it out. Like, I'm not in a search to find meaning. At least not in that way. I think everyone that does it, it's for one of those two reasons, and I don't have neither of those. If anything, the psychedelics like probably sound like a more interesting thing, right? I keep hearing people that do them, and they talk about their experiences and how they feel or how they get grounded, or it puts more perspective or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that would probably be interesting, but I'd be afraid to mess around with my brain. You know what I mean? Like, I only get one. It's like playing Russian roulette, I think. Yes, you can better with LED grow lights though, and diversify. Get it legally in Oregon? No, I mean, you can get it legally here, right? Smoke weed every day. Like Elon. By the way, Elon did not inhale. He did not inhale. It didn't sound like he didn't know what he was doing. Thank you, Kevin. Have a happy anniversary. Yeah. By the way, yes. For those of you who didn't hear, I'm going to be in Maui on the 18th to the 24th. So if you're in the island, hit me up. Let's hang out. You know, let's meet up for coffee or a beer. So I don't know. Tiny BMS sounds interesting. What's the best way to test polymer cells? I tried 6, and Max looks not the right one for this job. I don't know. You're trying to test. You load test them. I think. So what would be the best? So you take one cell and then you load test that, right? Because it's easier to kind of bench test. You know, low voltage, high amperage would probably be easier than a high voltage, high amperage, right? Because then that's a lot of power. I think the best way to test something is on the actual device that you're going to use it, right? Like if you want to test like a battery to see if it's going to do great in your car, right? Like, there's no other way than to real world just put it in your car and drive it and then just watch it explode or melt or do the thing that's going to do. But yeah, I mean, there's several things that I've done. I have those chargers that will do about 1400 watts, and that's not enough. Usually that's not enough for these high power cells. What I've done is I've shorted them out. That's another way to do it. You just short them out and then you just test and see, you know, performance. But of course that's not kind of accurate, because yeah, you want to do, you know, like if you want to test the continuous load, then you'd have to devise some way of loading them up. Yeah, I mean, I've done things where I test them at 12 volts, because then you can get like a 3000 watt inverter and you can load it up. Like this thing, I can turn that heater to 1500, and if you have 2 of them, you hook up 2, then you can get 3000 watts, right? So that's a load that it's constant. You can just turn those on and just let it run continuously. So yeah, other people use like water heaters. They'll use like big resistors, you know, and they put like some giant heat sinks, and they just, so there's some that they submerge in oil or water or some kind of liquid, or you just run like a heat sink in air. Like there's all kinds of ways to do it. You just have to, you know, get creative and to. You could also spend the money and get a load tester. There are bench top testers that you can set the voltage and stuff. I look okay, but I can't wear tight t-shirts. Gets a few looks. What? When are you coming to Australia? Oh, one of these days. One of these days. Now I have my Mexican passport, so now I can travel as a Mexican citizen. And as a Mexican citizen, I'm allowed in more countries than Americans are. So there's a little bit less hate around the world for Mexicans than Americans for some reason right now. Kush user with Marie Kondo to fix the mess behind you. Wait, Marie Kondo is the lady? Is that the lady that says, ask the thing if it's brought you joy? Is that the thing? And you thank it, and then you're like, okay. Hey. What's going on with you? No fighting. These guys get all crazy over here. I think if that's that lady, I keep hearing about her. Testing my Powerwall. Okay, so Roy Peatman. Just let you know, just finished testing my Powerwall. Still well balanced, running for 1 year without a BMS. It's a 24 volt, 160 cell pack. 20 cell packs times 7 and 8 packs at a moment. Lithium cells. Wow, Roy, that's pretty cool. Yeah, if you can do a good job matching your cells and you're running them, not too hard of a load where you exceed any of the weaker cells, right? Like if you exceed the limits on the weaker cells, yeah, that pack will just go up and down together. Yeah, that's how my bus is running, right? Every time I charge it and it charges, discharges, and charges, it's just the load is light enough where the batteries are degrading, up until now they're degrading evenly, and so they're staying together. They're just going back and forth. I don't know, of course, right? It's like, will that stay the same throughout the entire way or not? Or will they eventually will start, shifting? Possibly. That's a thing that we'll have to see, and we'll have to test it out. So probably you could run like that. If you did a good job, you can run like that with a data BMS for a long time. But I think maybe after a while, it would make sense to actually put some kind of monitoring thing. Because, everyone gets comfortable, you won't check them. Like if something happened, you're so comfortable with that battery, if something happened tomorrow, like if something happened to my bus and they were like starting to drift apart, I would know because I don't check them that often. I check it like once a year. I just go like, they're still there, So it would make sense towards the end of their life to actually put some kind of monitoring thing, so that in the case, in the higher likelihood that there's some drift, then you will be able to catch it. But yeah. So I won't be, this is 2 weeks, right? So I'll be here next Monday. Yeah, the 11th, the 18th, I won't be here. The 18th, I will be in Hawaii. So I won't be available here. And the 14, 15, 16, 17, I will be completely busy. That's NASCAR weekend. I'm doing a lot of work there. I'm gonna be running around like a crazy maniac shooting stuff all day, all night. Okay, I think that's it. We're gonna call it quits. It's 11. Let's meet up next week here again. We'll build some stuff. You guys will build some stuff. We'll check notes. We'll compare notes next week. And hopefully I'll be much closer with all my projects. All my projects are gonna move slightly forward this week. That's the goal. That's what I'll try to do. And usually I get to hit my goals, not 100%, but reaching. Damn, just noticed you're at 268K subs. Yeah, we're getting there. 300. Here we come. 300. And by the way, I'm building a whole lot more. I'm building, planning, shipping, selling, like all kinds of other stuff other than videos lately. I need to get back into the videos. Not just setting up. This next video, I think, are going to be really good ones, right? They're gonna be performers. You know, hopefully viral, you know. I think maybe, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do the viral thing. So yeah, it just takes quite a bit of setup because I'm doing everything. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for all your support, your likes, your views, your shares. All that stuff helps. Thank you for all your donations and stuff and all your support. It definitely makes it possible for me to do what I do every day. And I definitely don't want to ever not have that present and not be thankful for all of that. So thank you. I will see you guys next week if I don't do a video from here to then. Hopefully, you know, I do one, but if not, then I'll see you next week. Okay, guys, have a good night.
Por favor, no sube.
You made me think for a second.
Yeah, I even look at him. Look,
Like, hello.
I look at him. I'm just like, hey, can you hurry up and say it?
I'm over there.
So you want to build a DIY Powerwall. I'll show you how to do one. Using these as batteries and these as your inverter, you can build a small DIY Powerwall. Let's get going. Alrighty. Alrighty, here we go. Look at it go.
Hierro.
Oh my god!
Ahora sí. Ya, sí.
Oh, aquí está. On the right here, right next to you.
So around 2010, we started seeing the Tesla Roadster hype. And if you look at it just based on specifications, you're like, this power plant, we should be able to put this in other cars. We just kind of started a project, kind of like a technical exercise to see if we could actually build our own, kind of homebrew electric race car.
Let's talk about the EV West M3.
I'm Michael Breen with EV West, and 7 years ago we started our little electric car speed shop so we could help people make classic cars go faster. At the time we were looking around for venues, and there wasn't a lot available to electric cars, and we came across Pikes Peak, and they actually had a class. And we ended up building the car, purpose-built for Pikes Peak. We ran the race in 2012. We ended up setting a record for the fastest street-legal electric car to go up the hill.
Now, the car that Michael is talking about is the famous M3.
342 horsepower and 850.4 pound-feet of torque.
A few years later, I saw it. So how much does this Powerwall cost? Let's do a rundown on the prices of all the components. First, we have the solar charge controller available for $38.99, the bidirectional meter at $29.99, non-interruptible power supply available for $30. The battery modules are $50 each. There's 10 of them, so it's $500 in total. The 32-inch metal box is $59.22. A fuse holder is $682. The battery management system, the long ones are $14 each, and the main unit is like $200, so it comes down to a total of $342. All these components come to a grand total of $1,008 US. You can find the links for all these parts on the description of this video. I want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for future videos, all having to do with DIY renewable energy. Alright, so I just arrived in Manhattan. My allergies are killing me. You see, oh my god, I feel like crap. But it's early. A few other family members are here this time around, so I'm gonna go meet them. They're somewhere already exploring the city, so I gotta go get them. All right, we made it to Grand Central Station. Let's make a Powerwall. Positive, positive. Well, they're not super even, but they're okay. Whoa, they are kind of all over the place. And just like that, we assembled a 1 kilowatt-hour battery pack, 24 volts, ready to be used. This is a test of a LiFePO4 branded LGHG2 cell. According to the spec sheet, this cell can do a maximum of 20 amp continuous and shouldn't go above 75 degrees Celsius in temperature. And just like that, with that little crack, the cell is damaged beyond repair. At 15 amp load, this cell reached a maximum temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, at which point the CID was triggered, and now the battery is open circuit. So that's how you kill a fake LGHG2 branded LiFePO4 cells. almost lost our wheel right here. I saw a documentary on the building of the Twin Towers, and it turns out they're so close to the ocean, they needed to retain all that water. So they had to build these walls, and each one of those little things there are screws. They're just rods, steel rods that are going to the bedrock to hold that wall. And this is not the only, this is probably the last one because the building was right there. So this is
I think those
last
are
one.
called anchor bolts.
Anchor bolts, yeah. And those, they call those walls slurry walls. Crystal's covered up like it was sandy.
I'm cold.